100 red flags you should never ignore in love. Always blaming you. Do you ever feel like no matter what happens, someone finds a way to make it your fault? This is what it feels like when someone constantly puts the blame on you. It's like they have a magic pointer that always lands on you, even when you didn't do anything wrong, or when it was clearly someone else's mistake, or just an accident. Way back in old stories in ancient times, people would often look for someone to blame when bad things happened. Sometimes they'd pick a scapegoat, a person or even an animal they would put all their problems onto. They hoped that by sending this scapegoat away, the trouble would also disappear. It was a way to make sense of chaos, but it wasn't always fair. The idea of placing fault, even unfairly, has been part of how humans try to understand the world for a very long time. Imagine you're working on a big group project for school, and the main presentation file somehow gets corrupted. Instead of trying to fix it or figure out what truly happened, one person immediately says, "Well, you were the last one to touch it, so it must be your fault." Here's the thing. You only opened it briefly to check a spelling, and you saved it just like always. It wasn't a virus you brought or a mistake you made saving, but they're quick to point the finger, making you feel small and responsible for something you weren't. When someone always blames you, it's like a quiet storm brewing inside. It chips away at how you see yourself, slowly, without you even noticing at first. You might start to believe their words even when deep down you know they aren't true. Remember, your worth isn't tied to someone else's need to find fault. It's a gentle whisper that tells you, not every storm is yours to weather alone, and not every cloud of blame belongs above your head. Recognizing this is a step toward protecting your own peaceful sky. Never saying sorry. Have you ever wondered what happens when someone just can't say, "I'm sorry"? It's a small phrase, just 2 words, but they hold surprising power. When we make a mistake or accidentally hurt someone, saying sorry is usually the first step to making things right. It's a way of saying, "I see you, I messed up, your feelings matter." But some people almost never say it. Not for big things, not for small. It's like they have a wall built around them, protecting them from admitting they're less than perfect. Long ago, some believed admitting a mistake made you weak. They thought a strong person never backs down. But true strength comes from being brave enough to look at your own actions honestly. It takes courage to say, "My bad." Imagine a small cut on your hand. If you clean it and put a bandage on, it starts to heal. An apology is kind of like that bandage for a relationship. When something hurtful happens, a crack appears. If that crack is never acknowledged, never soothed with an "I'm sorry," then it just stays there. It might even get bigger. This can make trust fragile because the other person starts to feel like their feelings aren't seen or valued. They might wonder if their pain even matters. So when someone consistently avoids saying sorry, it's not just about the words. It's about something deeper. It's about whether they can take responsibility, empathize with how you feel, and truly believe in fixing what's broken between you. In the quiet space where an apology should be, a little connection can fade away, leaving a silent distance instead. It's a quiet sign that perhaps the repair kit for your relationship isn't being used. Keeping big secrets. What does it feel like when something truly important is kept hidden? A secret whispered only to the quiet air. In any close connection, especially in love, secrets can feel like shadows, stretching long and cool between 2 people. It's not about private thoughts, the quiet spaces we all need. Instead, it's about big pieces of truth, important details that are actively held back from someone who really needs to know them, someone who trusts you. Think back through history, through the stories people have told for thousands of years. Even ancient thinkers understood that trust was like the strong, invisible thread holding human relationships together. They knew that being honest, being truly open with each other, was the very ground upon which deep bonds could grow. If that ground was shaky, or if there were hidden holes, the whole structure would eventually feel unsafe. Here's the thing. Imagine you and a friend are working together to build a very tall, intricate puzzle. You're both adding pieces, carefully finding how they fit, trusting that every piece needed is there, visible to both of you. But what if one of you secretly kept a few key pieces hidden away, deep in your pocket, pretending they weren't missing? The puzzle would never be truly complete. It might look mostly finished, but there would always be gaps, parts that don't quite connect. Because vital information is missing, you would feel that something was off, even if you couldn't put your finger on it. Keeping truly big secrets in a relationship is a bit like that. It creates those missing pieces, those quiet gaps that prevent a full and honest picture from forming. It builds a kind of invisible wall, block by block, even if no words are spoken. And that's why it matters. It's a sign that the trust, the very foundation of feeling safe and understood with another person, might be cracking. When someone holds back something central to their life or identity, it asks a quiet question. Can I truly know and trust this person if they hide such a big part of themselves? Tuning 1. Thinking about someone of people of connection without there a surprising tree and deepings. Putting down your dreams. Have you ever thought about what makes you, you? It's often light you up inside. But what happens if someone you care about starts making those dreams feel small or silly, or even asks you to give them up? This is a big red flag. When someone makes you put down your dreams, it's not always a big dramatic fight. Sometimes it's a quiet comment that makes you second-guess yourself. Maybe they sigh when you talk about your art project, or say your interest in learning guitar is just a phase and not worth your time. Over time, these little moments can chip away at your belief in yourself. Think about it like this. Since forever, people have felt this inner pull towards something. From ancient times, humans have always followed inner calls, whether to discover new things or create something beautiful. The idea is, each of us has our own unique light, a path only we can walk. Imagine a tiny seed. That seed holds the dream of becoming a tall, strong tree. It needs water, sunlight, and good soil to grow. Now imagine someone trying to love that seed by telling it not to grow or by keeping it in the dark. It would never become what it was meant to be, right? Your dreams are like that seed. They need support and space to grow. If someone tries to dim your light or make you abandon what truly excites you, they're not really loving all of you. They're asking you to shrink a part of your soul. A truly caring person wants to see you shine brighter, not smaller. They understand your dreams aren't just wishes. They are true parts of your spirit asking to be seen. It's so important to protect that inner light. They get mad too easily. Have you ever seen someone get truly angry over something tiny, like a dropped pencil or a forgotten jacket? It's strange, isn't it, when a tiny spark causes a huge fire? In relationships, this is a red flag. It means their feelings can explode quickly for reasons that seem too small, too ordinary. Think about old stories, the wisdom from long ago. Ancient Greek thinkers talked about mastering strong feelings, emotions. They believed a person handling anger well was truly powerful. Not about never feeling angry, that's human. But it was about how you guide that emotion, like a ship's captain steering through a storm, not letting waves completely take over the ship. Here's an idea. Imagine a simple science experiment. You add a tiny drop of liquid to a beaker, and it causes a huge bubbling reaction. That's what it can feel like with someone who gets mad too easily. A little comment you make, a minor mistake, and suddenly, their world seems to erupt. It's not just a quick burst. It can be an angry cloud that lingers, making everyone feel nervous, like walking on thin ice. You start to worry about saying or doing the wrong thing, just to keep the peace. A heart should feel like a safe harbor, a quiet place where you can truly be yourself. When anger erupts too often, too powerfully, it makes that harbor feel unsafe. It whispers a message, I am not always a calm presence. And in love, you deserve a calm, steady hand, someone who can ride small waves without letting the whole ocean storm inside them. It's about seeking that gentle space, where mistakes are understood, not met with thunder and lightning. Not listening to you. Have you ever felt like you were talking to an empty room, even when someone was right there? It's a strange, quiet kind of loneliness, isn't it? This isn't just about someone not hearing your words. It's about them not truly listening to your heart, your ideas, or your worries. It's when your words seem to float away like dandelion seeds on the wind, never landing where they can grow. For ages, in all sorts of cultures, people have known how vital it is to truly listen. Think about ancient stories, where wise leaders would just hear their communities, or thinkers who believed that understanding another person was the first step to real connection. It's not just being polite. It's a deep way to show you care. It tells someone, what you say matters. What you feel matters. You matter. Here's the thing. When someone genuinely listens, they're not just waiting for their turn to speak, they're letting your words sink in, trying to see things from your side. Imagine you're telling a friend about a tough math problem. If they're really listening, they might ask, so you get the first part, but the fractions confuse you? They're trying to understand your struggle. But if they just say, math is easy, and change the subject, that's not listening. It's like trying to tune into a radio station, and all you get is static, or another show playing over yours. You send out a clear signal, but it's not being truly received. This might sound simple, but when someone often doesn't listen to you, it quietly tells you that your thoughts and feelings aren't important to them. Over time, that can feel like a part of you is fading away, unnoticed. Being heard is a basic human need. When that need isn't met, especially by someone close, it leaves a quiet ache. Look for those who truly hear you, and be that kind of listener for others too. Because to truly listen is to truly see another soul. Making fun of your feelings. Have you ever felt something really strongly, maybe super happy or truly sad, or even a little worried, and then someone laughed at you? Not with you, but at you. Here's the thing. When someone makes fun of your feelings, it's not just a harmless joke. It's like they're telling you your inside world isn't important, or that you're silly for feeling what you feel. It can make you question yourself, even wonder if your emotions are wrong. Think about it. Our feelings are like messages from inside us, signals that tell us what's going on, what we care about, and what we need. For thousands of years, people have tried to understand these deep parts of being human. Some thinkers long ago focused a lot on logic, sometimes seeing emotions as messy or less important than calm thought. But over time, we've come to understand that emotions are a huge natural part of being human. They aren't weaknesses, they are vital natural responses, like a body's alarm system, or a comfort signal. They help us connect with the world. Imagine you have a slight fever or a headache. You wouldn't want someone to tell you, "Oh, just stop having that. That's so dumb." That wouldn't make sense, right? A fever or a headache is a real signal from your body. In the same way, your feelings are real signals from your mind and heart. When you're upset because a movie character died or completely thrilled because your favorite team won a big game, those feelings are genuine and valid. They're honest, natural responses to your world and what you experience. So when someone makes fun of those honest responses, they're doing more than just teasing. They're hinting that your inner self, your unique way of seeing and feeling the world, isn't worth respecting. It's a sign that they might not value your deep, true self as much as they should. And that's why this is a real red flag. Everyone deserves to have their feelings, whether they're big waves or quiet ripples, treated with kindness and understanding. Your feelings are a core part of who you are, and they deserve respect, always. Controlling who you see. Have you ever thought about how important your friends are? The people you choose to spend your time with, who make you laugh or just understand you? It's a big part of who you are, isn't it? But what if someone you care about started telling you who you couldn't see anymore? This isn't about smart safety choices. It's about someone pulling you away from your own world, from people who've been part of your story. Think about it. Freedom, choosing your own path and company, has always been a deep part of being human. It's like a quiet, natural need inside us, the wish to connect freely. Imagine a strong tree. Its roots spread far, drawing water and nutrients from many places. Each root, each connection, helps it grow. Now, imagine someone cutting those roots, one by one. They say, "You can only get your water from this one spot now." What happens? The tree withers, becomes weak, leaning only on that single spot. it never truly thrives. Our friendships and family ties are like those roots. They feed our spirit in different ways. They give us new ideas, new ways of seeing, and different kinds of comfort. When someone tries to cut these connections, they aren't just controlling who you see. They are trying to control who you are becoming. They want to be your only source. And here's the thing. A world that shrinks to only one person, no matter how much you care for them, can feel very small and very lonely. It's a quiet turning from the richness life offers. To truly grow, we need wide sky and deep earth, and all the different connections that help us stand tall, strong, and truly ourselves. This quiet pulling away, this control, lessens the broad person you are meant to be. Checking your phone all the time. Have you ever been talking something important, and then you notice their eyes keep drifting? Maybe they glance down, then back up, then down again. It's like a quiet whisper pulling them away, even when they are right in front of you. This constant looking at a phone, checking it, scrolling, it's a big thing to notice in a relationship because it tells a story about where someone's focus truly lies. Think about it like this. For a long, long time, people learned about each other by truly watching, by listening with their whole selves. Ancient Greek thinkers talked about active listening, not just hearing words, but understanding the feeling behind them, seeing the small shifts in a person's face. It was about giving someone the full light of your attention. When we are with someone, our time, our eyes, our thoughts, these are precious gifts. They help build a bridge between two people. But here's the thing. A phone can act like a wall in the middle of that bridge. Imagine you're trying to build a beautiful sand castle at the beach, putting all your care into it. But every few minutes, a small wave keeps washing part of it away, asking for your attention somewhere else. That's a bit like what happens when someone keeps checking their phone while you're together. Each little glance, each quick scroll, takes a tiny bit of their presence away. It might not seem like much, but over time, those small pieces add up. So when you see this happening often, it's not just about a screen. It's about where someone chooses to place their most valuable resource, their attention. It makes you wonder, are they fully here, truly seeing and hearing you? Or are they living in a different space, always ready to be pulled somewhere else? True connection, the kind that feels warm and strong, needs a clear, open space to grow. It needs all of you, not just bits and pieces. And that's why this small action can cast a long, quiet shadow over the bright promise of a relationship. It reminds us that presence is a gift we give each other, and it's something worth protecting. Talking bad about everyone else. Have you ever noticed how some people always seem to find something negative to say about everyone around them? It's like their words are always tinged with a little bit of darkness, a small cloud following them. They might talk badly about their old friends, their family members, even people they just met. This isn't just harmless gossip. It's actually a big red flag when you're thinking about love and relationships. Here's the thing. When someone talks badly about everyone else, it often shows how they see the world. It means they might be quick to judge, or they struggle to find the good in people. Think about what wise people have said for thousands of years. Many old teachings from different parts of the world tell us that what we say about others often reflects what's inside us. It's like a famous saying, "What Susie says about Sally says more about Susie than about Sally." It tells you about their own heart and mind, not just about the person they're talking about. Imagine someone looking through a very specific kind of camera lens. This lens only focuses on flaws, on tiny imperfections. It zooms in on wrinkles, smudges, or bits of dust, ignoring the beautiful, bigger picture. When someone constantly talks badly about others, it's like they're always looking through that flaw-finding lens. They aren't seeing the whole person, with all their good parts and challenges. They just see things to criticize or tear down. And so, when you're with someone who always finds fault, who always gossips, or who always puts others down, it makes you wonder, if they treat everyone else that way, how long until they start seeing you through that same critical lens? A truly deep and safe connection needs kindness, understanding, and respect, not just for you, but for the whole world around you. It reminds us that our words have power, and the way we use them shapes the space between us. Their mood swings are wild. Have you ever watched the ocean? Calm one moment, crashing waves the next? Our feelings can be like that. But what if someone's inner ocean was always wildly shifting? This isn't just about a bad day. It's a deep, unpredictable tide of emotions. One moment they're incredibly kind, laughing, making you feel seen. The next, a dark cloud rolls in, their voice sharp, face distant, as if you're talking to a stranger. Often no clear reason exists for these sudden changes. It just happens. For a long time, people have tried to understand these shifting currents. Ancient thinkers wondered how our moods swayed like trees in an unseen wind. They knew human feelings could be powerful but also unsettling when they spun out of control. Imagine a swing set. Push someone gently and it moves predictably. A steady rhythm, you know what to expect. But picture someone on that swing pulling themselves wildly, swinging too high, then dropping abruptly. It's jarring, even scary. You can't join in, can't predict the next move. This wild emotional ride makes it hard for a relationship to feel safe. Love and true connection needs calm. It thrives where you feel steady ground, where the emotional weather is mostly calm, even with small storms. When someone's moods swing wildly, it feels like walking on shifting sand. You're unsure when the next change will come. Consistency, in how we treat others and how we feel, is a quiet, powerful gift. Always breaking promises. Have you ever thought about what a promise really is? It's not just a few words we say. A promise is like a thread woven between people. When someone makes a promise, they're offering a part of their future, a guarantee that they will do what they say. But what happens when that thread breaks, not just once, but over and over again? Here's the thing. When someone constantly breaks their word, it starts to feel like the ground beneath you isn't steady. Each broken promise is a tiny chip away from trust, that invisible but strong bridge between two people. You begin to question not just their words, but their very actions. It's like a soft rain of doubt falling, slowly soaking everything. For a long time across history, people understood how important promises were. Ancient thinkers like those in Greece or Rome often talked about how keeping your word was a deep part of being a good person. They believed a society or even a family could only truly work if people could count on each other's promises. It wasn't just about manners, it was about the very glue that held communities together. Imagine you are building a tower and each block you use is a promise made to you. If the person keeps their word, the block is solid and your tower grows strong. But if they break a promise, that block crumbles into sand right in your hands. It leaves an empty space. If too many blocks crumble, your tower starts to wobble. It leans, it shakes, and eventually, it can't stand tall anymore. This is what happens to trust when promises are always broken. So, when someone you care about always breaks their promises, it's more than just a forgotten plan. It's a slow, quiet fading of trust. It's like watching a beautiful, strong bridge slowly disappear, piece by piece, until you can no longer cross to the other side. And that's why it matters so much in any connection, making you feel small. Have you ever felt like you were shrinking? Not in size, but in your very spirit? This is a quiet, harmful thing that can happen in relationships. It's when someone you care about makes you feel less important, less smart, or less valuable than you truly are. They might ignore your feelings, brush off your worries, or even make fun of your ideas. They might talk down to you, making you doubt what you know is true. It's like they are constantly trying to dim your inner light, making you feel smaller than you actually are. For a long time, thinkers, from ancient philosophers to modern poets, have considered a deep, beautiful idea: that every single person has an inner worth, a unique spark. They believe that each of us is a universe in ourselves, full of thoughts, feelings, and dreams. No one has the right to make that universe inside you feel tiny or insignificant. Your existence holds incredible value. Think about it like this. Imagine you're a bright, colorful sunflower, reaching for the warmth of the sun. You're meant to stand tall, vibrant, and beautiful, turning your face towards the light. But if someone you trust constantly casts a shadow over you, blocking the light you need to grow and thrive, what happens? You might start to wilt, to bend, to not feel as strong or vibrant. Your petals might even droop, making you wonder if you were ever meant to shine. This kind of shading isn't always obvious. It's often about quiet comments or dismissive looks, not always big arguments. It's about someone making you feel like your opinions are silly or your worries are too much. This can make you pull back, to whisper your thoughts instead of speaking them out loud, or to hide parts of yourself. Slowly, you might even start to believe their small opinion of you. But here's the truth. Your voice matters. Your feelings are real. You are meant to take up your own space in the world, not shrink into a corner. When someone tries to make you feel small, they are trying to shrink your unique universe to fit their own narrow understanding. And your universe is too grand for that. They never ask about your day. Imagine you've had a whole day. Maybe school was tough, or you aced a test. Don't you ever wish someone would just ask, "How was your day?" Being seen, knowing someone cares enough to wonder about your world. This isn't about grand gestures, it's about the gentle hum of everyday care. For centuries, thinkers have talked about human connection. Philosophers like Aristotle believed friendship was about sharing life, about knowing and being known. Even in old stories, people shared their worries and simple happenings. This act of sharing, even just hearing about someone's day, is a tiny thread weaving together human relationships. It's how we build understanding. It's how we say, "You matter." Think about a plant. It needs sunlight and water to grow, not just big storms, but constant, gentle care. If you only talk at a plant, but never give it water, it won't thrive. Similarly, in a relationship, those small questions are like regular watering. When someone doesn't ask, it's like they aren't offering that water. They're building a wall, not inviting you in, and not stepping into your world. So, what does it mean when someone never asks? It might mean their attention is always elsewhere, focused only on themselves. True connection needs a two-way street. It needs both people to show curiosity, to want to know the other. A relationship where only one person ever shares, or where one person's day is never wondered about, might be missing that vital, quiet breath of shared life. Are you truly connected, or just existing beside each other? Your gut says something's off. Have you ever felt a little whisper inside you? A quiet nudge that says, "Wait a moment, this isn't quite right." It's not a sound you hear with your ears, but more like a feeling in your stomach, or a chill that runs up your arm. This is often what we mean by your gut feeling. It's a deep, unspoken sense that something is off, even when your brain can't yet put it into clear words. For a long, long time, people have talked about this inner knowing. Ancient wisdom often spoke of intuition, like a secret language our soul understands. It's not magic, but actually a very old part of how humans survived. Think about early humans exploring a new forest. They might not see a lion, but a subtle change in the air, a certain quietness, or the way birds stopped singing, would trigger an alarm inside them. Their gut would scream, "Danger!" long before their eyes found the threat. This inner alarm helped them make quick, life-saving choices. Here's the thing. It's a mix of all the small details your senses pick up, even without you consciously realizing it. Your brain processes these tiny clues, like scattered puzzle pieces, and then sends you that off signal. Imagine you're talking to a new friend, and they're saying all the right things, smiling, being polite. But something feels hollow. Maybe their eyes don't quite match their smile, or their words feel a bit too practiced. Your gut might tense up. That feeling is your deep self paying attention to the small things your conscious mind might miss. So, when that quiet feeling surfaces, don't dismiss it. It's your inner compass, always pointing towards what feels true, or what feels unsafe. Learning to gently listen to that small voice, that inner sense, is a powerful gift. It's about trusting yourself in the deepest way. It shows you that you are connected to a wisdom that goes beyond just what you see and hear. And that's why it matters so much. They don't respect your no. Have you ever felt a quiet little bell ring inside you when someone just doesn't listen? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Like you've spoken, but the words floated away, unheard. This is what happens when someone doesn't respect your no. No is a powerful, tiny word. It's like a fence you put around your own space, your thoughts, your feelings, your body. It says, this is where I stand, this is my boundary. When someone ignores it, they're not just ignoring a word. Here's the thing, they're ignoring you. They're stepping right over that fence, sometimes without even noticing the boundary was there, or worse, noticing and simply not caring. Think about it this way. For thousands of years, people have understood that everyone has their own space. Even in the oldest stories, characters have their own sacred places, their own secrets, their own choices. It's a very human need to feel like you own yourself, your decisions. It's about feeling safe in your own skin. Imagine you have a favorite drawing or a poem you wrote in a special notebook. You tell someone, please don't look at this, or don't touch this, but they open it anyway. How does that feel? It's not just about the drawing or the notebook. It's about your trust. It's about the feeling that your wishes, your inner world, aren't safe with that person. And that's why it matters so deeply in love. If someone constantly pushes past your no, it whispers a message, what I want is more important than what you need. It can slowly, quietly, make you feel less real, less valued. Your voice might start to shrink, but remember, your no is a part of who you are. It's a quiet shield meant to keep your truest self safe and whole. And everyone deserves to have that shield respected. Acting different around others. Have you ever seen someone act one way when you're alone with them, but then completely change when other people show up? It's like a different person steps into their body. Maybe they're sweet and kind with just you, but then they get loud, or even a little mean around their friends. Or they tell you one thing, then say the opposite to someone else. This can feel confusing, like a puzzle piece that doesn't fit. It makes you wonder, which version is real? This idea of showing different sides has been around a long time. Think about actors in ancient Greek plays. They wore masks, called personas, to show if they were a hero or a villain. The word person even comes from this idea of a mask. That made sense for a play. But in real life, when someone constantly switches their mask for different people, it makes trust hard. You want to know the true person, not just the one they choose to show right then. Here's an example. Imagine a classmate. When you work on a project, they're quiet, focused, and helpful. But then, at lunch with a group, they suddenly crack jokes, maybe even make fun of other kids acting like them. They don't care. It's like they turn into a different radio station. This sudden change in volume and channel can make you feel uneasy. You might wonder if they would talk about you that way when you're not there. The heart wants to connect with what is real and steady. When someone changes who they are just because of who is watching, it can feel like the ground is shaking. We all grow and adapt, but that's different from putting on a whole new performance. Real connection happens when we see and accept each other as we truly are, no matter who else is around. If someone can't be consistently themselves, it might be a quiet sign that something isn't right. We need honesty, even if it's imperfect, more than a perfect act. Jealousy over your friends. Have you ever felt a strange knot in your chest when the person you care about seems upset when you spend time with your friends? This feeling is often jealousy. It's a red flag when a partner actively tries to stop you from seeing your friends. They might get quiet and moody, or make subtle comments that hurt. Sometimes they even push you to choose between them and your old friends, making you feel guilty. Historically, humans have always relied on their community. Our friends are a vital part of that. They are like the different branches of a grand tree, holding us up, offering new ideas, and giving us shade and comfort. To try and cut those branches, to pull you away from those connections, is to try and make your world smaller, more isolated, and less vibrant. It's an attempt to control you. Imagine your life as a bright, colorful garden. Each friend is a unique flower, adding different beauty and shades. A partner jealous of your friends is like someone trying to pull up your flowers, one by one. They might say, "Why do you need them when you have me? I am enough." But a truly healthy garden needs many kinds of flowers to bloom. Your personal garden needs many different kinds of light to flourish. Here's the thing, your friends knew you before this relationship. They helped shape the person you are today. A love that truly cares for you will want to see your whole garden bloom, not just one flower. They will understand that a person needs many kinds of light and support to grow strong and true, like a tree reaching for the sky. When someone tries to dim those lights or cut off connections that feed your spirit, it's a quiet but clear sign. Their love might be more about control and fear than about truly loving all of you, deeply and freely. Not supporting your hobbies. Have you ever felt that quiet joy when you're doing something you really love? Maybe it's drawing, playing an instrument, or getting lost in a good book. Those moments, those activities, they're more than just ways to pass the time. So what happens when a person in your life doesn't seem to notice or care about these parts of you? When they don't support your hobbies? It's not just about them not liking your music. It's deeper. It's about them not seeing or valuing a piece of you. Your hobbies are like little windows into your soul. They show what excites you, what makes you feel alive. When someone ignores or makes fun of these passions, it can feel like they're ignoring you. Think about it like this. People have understood for a long time that who we are isn't just about school or work. Even ancient thinkers like the Greeks talked about knowing yourself. They believed finding what truly made you happy was a big part of a good life. Your personal interests are part of that journey of knowing and growing. They make you, you. Imagine a plant that needs sunlight to grow. If you keep it in a dark room, even with water, it won't thrive, right? It might even start to wilt. Your hobbies are like sunlight for your spirit. They feed your curiosity, your creativity, your unique energy. If someone constantly pulls you away from your hobbies or acts like they don't matter, it's like they're trying to keep your light from shining. It might not be on purpose, but the effect is the same. You start to feel less vibrant, less like yourself. Here's the thing. A truly good connection, a healthy relationship, should make you feel more like yourself, not less. It should encourage your light to grow brighter, not dim it. When someone genuinely cares, they want to see all the wonderful parts of you, and they want those parts to flourish. So, if someone doesn't support your hobbies, that's a quiet signal. It means they might not be ready to celebrate the amazing person you are, fully and completely. And you deserve someone who does.
They want you all to themselves. Have you ever felt like someone, maybe a friend or a crush, wanted all your time, all your attention, just for them? They might get upset if you spent time with other friends, focused on hobbies, or even just hung out with family. This feeling, this quiet pull, can be a red flag. Here's the thing. Real love should make your world bigger, not smaller. It's nice to feel special to someone, but it's a problem when that means you can't be special to anyone else. Humans have known for a long time that we need many different people in our lives. Think about ancient villages. Everyone relied on different people: the farmer, the builder, the storyteller. No single person could be everything to another. This idea that we grow best with many connections is really old. It's just how we are. Imagine a plant. It needs sunlight, but it also needs water, air, and soil nutrients. If you only gave a plant one kind of food, it wouldn't grow strong. You are like that plant. You need different kinds of connections to grow your family roots, your friend branches, your school experiences, your hobby leaves. When someone wants you all to themselves, they're trying to cut off those other sources of light and water that help you bloom. They might say it's because they care, but true caring means wanting you to be your full self, connected to everything that helps you grow. So, here's what matters. Healthy connections give you freedom to be you, with everyone important. They don't trap you or make you feel guilty for having other parts of your life. Your world should be vast, filled with many kinds of love and friendship. That's how you truly flourish. Ignoring your text messages. Have you ever sent a message, a quick question, a simple hello, and then nothing? The blue check marks appear, showing it was read, but your screen stays quiet. It's like tossing a stone into a deep well and waiting for the echo that never comes back. That quiet silence, when your texts are ignored, can feel like a small, cold space opening up inside. Here's the thing. In our world of instant messages, a text is a tiny bridge we build to someone else. It's a reach, a whisper across the digital air. When that message is left unanswered, it's like someone quietly taking a step back from that bridge. It's not always a forgotten phone, but when it happens, often, especially for important things, that silence is worth noticing. Think about how people communicated long ago. Before phones, there were letters carried by hand. You'd send your words out, sometimes waiting weeks for a reply. The wait was long, but when that letter arrived, it was a treasure. It was proof your words had traveled, and someone had truly heard them. That feeling of being heard, of knowing your message mattered, is deeply human. It connects us. It's a bit like playing catch, but the other person just lets the ball drop every time. Or like asking a question in a quiet room, and no one answers, even though you know they heard you. That quiet non-response isn't just about the words you sent. It's about a lack of acknowledgement, a feeling that your effort to connect wasn't met with care. So, when silence becomes the usual reply, it tells us something. Healthy connections are two-way streets, needing energy from both sides. It's a quiet lesson about respect and how we value each other's feelings. Being seen and heard, even in a simple text, is a precious part of building trust and closeness. And if that bridge is constantly quiet, it might be telling you something important about where you stand. Always needing to win. Have you ever met someone who always has to be right? Even about small things, like the color of the sky, or how a game should be played. This isn't just about winning a board game. It's about a deep need to dominate. Every conversation, every argument, every little moment. It's a heavy feeling, like a constant invisible tug-of-war that you never signed up for. Think way back. Two old Greek thinkers like Aristotle, they talked about balance, about something called arete, which means excellence or virtue. But they also knew that too much of anything could be a problem. When someone always needs to win, it's like their focus is only on themselves. It's not about finding the truth together. It's about proving they are better, stronger, smarter. It's like they see every interaction as a battle, not a shared journey. Imagine you're building a sandcastle on the beach with someone. You suggest putting a flag on top. They immediately say, no, a moat is better, and it has to be my idea. And even if you agree to the moat, they'll still find a way to tell you why their moat-building technique is superior to anything you could imagine. This isn't just playing. This is about control, not partnership. It drains the fun, the joy of building something together. It's like a plant that only grows towards itself, never sharing its shade or beauty. In science, we learn about symbiosis, where two different things help each other. But this always needing to win energy is the opposite of symbiosis. It's a one-way street, where only one person can thrive. When someone lives like every moment is a competition, they don't leave much room for real connection. Love, true love, is not a contest. It's a shared space, a gentle give and take, like two hands holding each other, not wrestling. It's about building bridges, not walls. So, when you see this pattern, this constant need for victory, stop and listen to that quiet feeling inside you. It might be whispering a gentle warning. True connection grows where there's shared ground, not just winning ground. Making you cry a lot. Have you ever noticed how sometimes tears just seem to well up, even when you can't quite name the exact sadness? It's not just about a sad movie or losing something important. Here's the thing. Sometimes, in relationships, tears become a daily visitor. They aren't just a single moment of sorrow. They become a quiet, constant rain. When someone in your life makes you cry a lot, it's a huge sign, like a flashing light you shouldn't ignore. It means your heart is being asked to carry too much, too often. Imagine a clear glass of water, usually still and calm. If someone is always shaking it, always stirring up the sediment, that water never gets a chance to settle. Your emotions can be like that. They're constantly unsettled, always on the edge of overflowing. For centuries, people have understood that tears are more than just salty water. Ancient thinkers and wise storytellers often saw tears as a release, a way for our deepest feelings to escape when words aren't enough. They are like a natural language our soul speaks when it's truly struggling. But here's the problem. When that language becomes your main way of communicating, when you're always weeping, it changes. It stops being a release and starts being a heavy burden. Think of a gentle garden plant. It needs sunlight and just enough water to grow strong. But what if it rained constantly, day after day? Not gentle showers, but heavy downpours that never stopped. The plant would start to droop, its leaves would yellow, and its roots might even rot. It wouldn't thrive. Your inner spirit is like that plant. If a connection keeps making you feel heavy, leaving you soaked in sadness, your own light starts to dim. You might feel tired, confused, or like your energy is just draining away. So when tears become a regular part of your days because of someone else, it's not a small thing. It's a whisper from your own deep self, a clear message that something important needs to shift. Your tears are not just water. They are precious messengers. They are telling you that your heart deserves a calm, clear space to exist. You deserve a connection where joy isn't constantly washed away, and where your spirit can truly blossom under a gentle, supportive sky, not a constant, drenching storm. Never taking responsibility. Have you ever paused to think about what happens when someone just can't seem to say, "My bad," or "I messed up"? This is about a pattern, where a person consistently avoids owning their part when things go wrong. It's like they have an invisible shield, deflecting any blame or mistake away from themselves, onto circumstances, or even onto you. Long ago, ancient thinkers, like the wise people of Greece, talked about accountability. It meant being answerable for your actions. They believed growing as a person meant facing your choices, good or bad. Think of a ship's captain. They take responsibility for the journey, no matter the storms. If a ship goes off course, the captain doesn't blame the ocean. They look at their own decisions and learn. This isn't just about saying sorry. It's about understanding how your actions impact others. Here's an example. Imagine building something cool with a friend, like a Lego castle or a science project. You both make choices, and suddenly, a part breaks. If your friend immediately says, "You put that piece on wrong," or "This wasn't my idea anyway," without looking at their own steps, that's it. It's like they're refusing to look in a mirror to see their own reflection in the situation. They just point fingers. This makes it impossible to fix the problem together, because if no one is ever at fault, how can anything ever be learned from or improved? In love, this refusal to take responsibility can feel like a quiet erosion, like water slowly wearing away a stone. It means problems don't get truly solved, just swept aside. It means trust becomes fragile, because if someone can't own their small part, how can you trust them with the big things? It's a heavy thing to carry, always feeling like you're the only one holding the mirror, and that's why it matters deeply. Real love needs courage, the courage to be honest, especially with yourself, and to grow together. They push your boundaries. Have you ever felt that soft, quiet knowing inside you? That feeling that tells you, "This is too far," or "I'm not comfortable with this." It's like an invisible circle around you, your personal space. And here's the thing, sometimes, in a relationship, someone might start to push on that circle. Not gently, but with a steady, quiet pressure. It feels like they are testing how much you will let them take. What are these invisible lines we're talking about? We call them boundaries. They're like fences around your garden, not to keep people out forever, but to protect what's precious and special inside. Your thoughts, your feelings, your time, your choices. These are all parts of your inner garden, your true self. For a long, long time, across different cultures and throughout history, humans have understood that everyone needs their own space, their own corner of the world where they feel safe, respected, and free. It's a fundamental part of being human, of being an individual with your own mind and heart. This need for personal limits isn't new. It's woven into how we build healthy lives. Imagine you have a friend, and you've clearly told them, "Hey, I really need quiet time to study on Tuesdays, so I won't be able to hang out then." But then, every Tuesday, they text you constantly, or call, or even show up at your door, wanting to hang out. They might say, "Oh, come on, it's just me. What's the big deal? I thought we were close." This isn't just a small misunderstanding. This is someone choosing to ignore your clear request, stepping over that line you've drawn for yourself. It feels like they're saying their wants are more important than your needs, and that your feelings don't quite matter as much. When someone consistently pushes your boundaries, even in small ways, it slowly chips away at your sense of safety and trust. It can make you question if your no really means no. This can lead to a feeling that your worth isn't being seen or respected. A true, healthy connection makes room for both people's needs and desires. It values and respects those invisible fences around your inner world. So, when someone keeps leaning on your boundaries, it's a quiet signal, a gentle whisper that something truly important about you is being overlooked. Listen to that whisper. It's telling you to protect your inner garden, because it deserves care and respect. Constant comparisons to others. Have you ever felt like someone was always holding up a mirror, but instead of seeing yourself, you saw someone else's reflection? That's what it feels like when someone constantly compares you to others. It's not about gentle suggestions or learning from someone else's good points. It's about being told, over and over, that you don't quite measure up. This kind of comparison makes you feel smaller, as if you're always falling short. Imagine you're trying your best at something, maybe a new hobby or a school project. You're proud of your work, but then someone you care about looks at it and says, "That's good, but Sarah's is so much better." Or "Why can't you be more organized like John?" It stings, doesn't it? It chips away at your joy and makes you doubt your own worth, creating a quiet ache. Long ago, thinkers in ancient Greece spoke about something called know thyself. This wasn't just about knowing your favorite color or what you're good at. It meant understanding your own unique spirit, your own strengths and weaknesses, and accepting them. When someone constantly compares you, they're not letting you know yourself in that true way. They're trying to mold you into something you're not, which can feel like an erasing of who you truly are. Think of it like different kinds of flowers. A rose is beautiful because it's a rose, with its own scent and petals. A lily is beautiful because it's a lily, tall and graceful. It would be silly to tell a rose, "Why aren't you as tall and elegant as that lily?" Each flower has its own beauty, its own way of growing and reaching for the sun. In the same way, each person has their own unique light. Your value isn't found in being a copy of someone else, or in being better than another person. It comes from being fully, wonderfully you. When someone in a relationship always points out how someone else shines brighter in their eyes, it's a quiet whisper that love might be missing something vital. True love helps you bloom right where you are. It celebrates what makes you, you. It builds you up, rather than slowly making you feel less than. It reminds you that you are enough, exactly as you are. Their past relationships are always bad. Have you ever listened to someone talk about their past, and every story held a shadow? Perhaps they spoke of every former friend, every person they once cared for deeply, as if each one was a mistake, a villain, or simply broken. It's a strange whisper in the air. When a person says that every single person they've ever loved was the problem, think about it. If you plant a seed in the ground, and it doesn't grow, you might blame the seed. But if you plant 10 different seeds, a sunflower, an oak, a rose, a bean, and none of them ever grow, you might wonder about the soil, the sunlight, or the person doing the planting. It's not always the seed's fault. Ancient Greek thinkers often spoke about patterns. They believed that humans, in their lives, often repeat certain patterns, like a river flowing in the same direction year after year. They knew that sometimes what we see outside us, in the world or in other people, is really a reflection of something within us. We carry our own landscapes inside us, and they shape the world we experience. When someone says every past relationship was bad, it can be like hearing that their garden never grows. It might mean they haven't learned what kind of soil their own heart needs, or how to tend it gently. It's not about blaming anyone, but about noticing. It asks if there's a lesson unlearned, a mirror unturned. True connection, the kind that feels like a warm, steady light, often comes from a place where we understand our own part in the story. It asks us to look at the stories we tell about our past, not just who was in them, but how we felt, and what we might have contributed. Sometimes, the most important journey we can take is the one inward, exploring our own landscape, so that future gardens might bloom with more ease and joy. Only talking about themselves. Have you ever been talking with someone, sharing a story, and then suddenly, they jump in and make it all about them? Or maybe they just keep talking and talking, and you realize you haven't said a single word in 10 minutes. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Like you're there, but you're not really there to them. This is what we mean when we talk about someone only talking about themselves. It's when their world is the only one that seems to matter in the conversation. Think about it this way. For a very long time, people have known that good friendships, good connections, are like a balanced scale. The ancient Greeks, for example, talked a lot about dialogue, not just one person giving a speech, but two or more people truly exchanging ideas. They believed that really listening, really hearing what another person says, was a big part of learning and growing. It's about sharing the space, making room for someone else's thoughts and feelings. 2. Here's a simple way to picture it. Imagine you're playing catch with a friend. You throw the ball, and they throw it back. That's how a good conversation feels. Both people are involved. But what if your friend just kept throwing the ball up in the air by themselves, over and over, without ever throwing it to you? You'd feel left out, wouldn't you? You'd eventually just walk away, because you're not really playing. That's how it feels when someone only talks about themselves. Your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences. They don't get a chance to be part of the game. And that's the thing about true connection. It's not a one-person show. It needs two people willing to share their inner worlds, to ask questions, and to truly listen to the answers. It takes energy from both sides. When someone only talks about themselves, it can leave you feeling unseen, unheard, and maybe a little bit lonely in their presence. It teaches us that being truly present for another person means opening a space for them, not just filling it with yourself. You feel drained after seeing them. Have you ever spent time with someone, and afterwards, you just feel empty? Not physically tired, like after running, but something deeper, like your spirit got a little dim. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Like a quiet whisper inside you saying, that took a lot out of me. This isn't about being an introvert or needing alone time. It's about a specific kind of tiredness that happens because of the person you were with. Long ago, people from different cultures talked about an inner energy, a life force. Think of the ancient Chinese idea of qi. It was about the flow of vitality within us. The idea was some interactions can fill your cup, while others can quietly empty it. It's like some people are sunlight, and others are clouds that block the light, making everything feel a bit heavier. Imagine your phone battery. Every day, it starts full. You use it for games, for talking, for school. But then, there are some apps that just chew through the power super fast, even when you're not actively using them. In a similar way, some relationships can drain your emotional battery without you even realizing it, until it's almost gone. You might feel a heavy sigh, a need to just sit quietly, or even a sudden urge to avoid everything. So, here's the thing. That feeling of being drained, it's important. It's your inner self sending you a message. It's telling you something about the connection, about how it affects your own well-being. Listen to that quiet whisper. It's teaching you about where your energy goes, and how to protect that precious light inside you. Because your own inner light, your own calm, matters more than anything. They lie about little things. Have you ever wondered about tiny cracks? Not big, dramatic breaks, but those thin lines that barely show, like on a favorite mug. What happens when someone you care about starts telling little lies? Not about huge things, but about small, everyday moments. Here's the thing. It might seem like no big deal. Maybe they say, I already ate when they didn't, or I'm busy when they're just playing a game. But these aren't just single fibs. They are like tiny hairline cracks. Trust, you see, is built like a sturdy wall. Every small truth shared is a brick laid carefully. Every little lie, it's a tiny chip in that wall. Thinkers for ages have talked about how important trust is. Wise people long ago knew that a group of friends, or a whole society, couldn't really work without people being honest. They understood trust is the very glue holding us together, making us feel safe and understood. When someone lies, even about small things, it's not just about the words. It's about how they treat truth itself. Imagine you have a beautiful, clear glass. A tiny scratch might hardly be noticed. Then another, and another. Soon, the glass isn't as clear. It doesn't reflect light the same way. It feels less strong. That's what happens with little lies. They don't just break a big promise. They slowly chip away at the clear surface of trust. They make it harder to truly see the person, harder to believe what they say, even when it matters most. So, when these small untruths appear, it's not about being a detective. It's about listening to that quiet feeling inside you. Understand that even the smallest threads, pulled and cut often enough, can unravel the strongest fabric. And a relationship, truly, is woven from honesty and shared understanding. We all deserve to feel safe in the light of truth, even the small ones. Never letting you be alone. Have you ever wondered about true closeness in a relationship? What does it feel like when someone always wants to be right there, every single moment, like a shadow you can't outrun? Here's the thing. Sometimes, this constant togetherness can be a red flag, a quiet whisper that something isn't quite right. It's not about someone just really liking you. It's when they need to be your only person, your only friend, your only connection to the world outside. It's when they don't want you to spend time with anyone else. Not family, not other friends, not even alone with your own thoughts. Think about it like this. For centuries, wise thinkers have talked about how important it is for people to have many different kinds of connections. Ancient philosophers, for example, believed we needed a community, a group of different people bringing different ideas for us to truly thrive. It's like a garden. A single flower is beautiful, but a whole garden with many different kinds of plants, all growing together but still individual, is much richer and stronger. Each one needs its own space and its own light dot. So here's what happened. If someone tries to be your only source of light, imagine your mind is like a house. You invite different friends over sometimes, different family members. You also need quiet, time when it's just you, sitting in your favorite peaceful room. But here's the problem. If one person tries to move into your house permanently and never leaves, and even stops you from inviting anyone else over, soon your house feels less like a home and more like a cage. You can't breathe. Your own thoughts start to get mixed up with theirs. You stop learning new things from other people. Real love, true connection, isn't about owning someone or being their whole world. It's about being a part of their world, yes, but also encouraging them to explore and grow, to have other friendships and interests. It's like two separate trees growing side by side, reaching for the sun, their roots intertwining, but each still strong on its own. They share the light. They don't block it from each other. So, when someone tries to be your only person, that's not love. That's a sign they might be trying to shrink your world, not help it expand. Getting angry when you disagree. Have you ever thought about how we talk when we don't see eye to eye? It's natural for people to have different ideas, even in the closest relationships. Disagreeing is not the problem itself. It's how we handle those moments of difference. But here's the thing. When simple disagreements turn into bursts of anger, it's a bright red flag waving in the wind. What does it mean when someone gets truly angry? Not just frustrated, but yelling, slamming things, or shutting down completely, just because your opinion doesn't match theirs. This isn't about passion for a belief. It's about a deeper issue, a fear or a need for control. Long ago, thinkers like the ancient Greek philosophers saw discussion as a path to truth. They believed that by sharing different views, you could understand more, build something better together. It wasn't about winning an argument, but about learning and growing. Imagine you and a friend are picking out a movie to watch. You want a comedy, they want an action film. It's perfectly fine to explain why you like comedies, and for them to say why they prefer action. But what if your friend suddenly yells at you, calls your choice stupid, or walks away in a huff just because you don't agree? That moment isn't about the movie anymore. It's about their reaction to not getting their way, to your independent thought. This can help you understand something important. When someone explodes in anger over a small difference, it often shows they don't value your thoughts as much as their own. It might mean they struggle with sharing power or accepting that others can have valid, different perspectives. True connection gives space for two separate minds to exist, even when they bump into each other. You should always feel safe to be yourself, with your own ideas, and know your voice matters. Always. Canceling plans all the time. Ever make plans, feel excited, then they cancel last minute, not once, but again and again. It's a quiet whisper. Do they truly value our time? Here's the thing about plans. They are like tiny promises. When someone agrees to meet, they offer a slice of their day. You offer yours. For centuries, across cultures, keeping your word has been a cornerstone of trust. Think of ancient storytellers who lived by their word, or merchants who relied on a handshake. When words become unreliable, trust begins to fray, like a worn thread in a favorite blanket. Imagine a garden you tend to, water it daily, check on the sprouts. But what if one plant always wilts, no matter your care? It keeps getting moved, out of the sun, or forgotten. Soon, you might stop expecting it to bloom. Our relationships are a bit like that garden. When someone consistently cancels, it can feel like they're moving your shared plant out of the sun. It tells you, without saying a word, that their presence in your life, in that moment, isn't something you can count on. It's not about the activity itself, like a movie or just hanging out. It's about feeling you're not a priority, that your time isn't as important as other things. This is a gentle reminder for us all. Our time is precious, so is others. When someone repeatedly lets you down on a small thing like plans, it can start to feel like a bigger pattern. It can make you wonder about their commitment, not just to a plan, but maybe to the friendship itself. It teaches us to see our own value and who truly shows up, not just in words, but in action. And that's why it matters. Not caring when you're sad. Have you ever felt a quiet rain inside you, a deep sadness that settles in your chest? Maybe you got a bad grade, or lost something important, or just felt that heavy feeling without quite knowing why. And in that moment, when your world felt a little dim, did you look at someone you cared about, hoping they would notice, hoping they would see? But then, imagine if they just didn't, or worse, if they saw your tears and turned away, or shrugged, or acted like your sadness wasn't there at all. Here's the thing, when someone you're close to shows no real care when you're sad, it's like a quiet bell not ringing. It's a sign humans have always needed to share their burdens. Think about it. Long, long ago, people lived in tribes. If one person was hurt or sad, the group helped. It wasn't just about survival. It was about connection, about knowing you weren't alone. Wise people throughout history have talked about how important it is to feel seen by others, especially when you're hurting. It's a basic human need, like needing food or sleep. It's a bit like this. Imagine your favorite plant. When its leaves start to droop, you know it needs water, right? You don't just walk past it and pretend it's fine. You give it what it needs. But if a person you trust, a friend or someone even closer, sees you wilting emotionally and just ignores it, it hurts. It tells you, without words, that your feelings don't matter to them, and that can feel very lonely. So, when someone you think you share a special bond with doesn't seem to care when you're sad, it's not just a small moment. It's a quiet whisper asking, am I truly seen? Do I really matter to you? A deep connection should mean sharing both the sunshine and the rain. It means being a soft place for each other to land when life gets tough. And if that place isn't there, it makes you wonder what kind of foundation your connection truly stands on. Making you feel guilty. Have you ever felt a heavy knot settle in your stomach? A feeling like you've done something terribly wrong, even when you're not sure what it was? This quiet, uncomfortable weight is guilt. And sometimes, in love, a person might try to put that weight on you, making you feel responsible for their feelings or problems, even when you aren't. It's like they're handing you a package of blame that isn't yours to carry. For a very long time, people have understood how powerful feelings can be. Guilt, especially, can feel like a deep, persistent ache. Think of ancient stories where heroes faced trials, and sometimes the biggest struggle was battling their own sense of wrongdoing, whether it was real or imagined. When someone makes you feel guilty, they are trying to use that powerful feeling against you. They might twist words, or sigh heavily, or look sad, until you start to believe that somehow you caused their unhappiness. It's a way of shifting their own feelings onto your shoulders. Imagine you're sharing a pizza with a friend. You take a slice, and suddenly they say, "Oh, I guess I'll just starve then." Since you took the biggest piece, you might instantly feel a pang, even if all the slices were the same size, or if they had plenty of other food. That sudden discomfort, that feeling you did something wrong, even when you didn't, that's what it feels like. In a deeper way, it's like someone blaming you for the rain outside because you wanted to play soccer. It sounds silly when you say it out loud, but emotional guilt trips can feel just as confusing and wrong. Love should feel like freedom, like a place where your spirit can breathe. It shouldn't feel like a constant balancing act, always trying to avoid making someone else feel bad, or taking on blame that isn't yours. When someone consistently makes you feel guilty for things that are not your fault, it's a sign that their own feelings are tangled, and they are using that tangle to control you. Remember, your heart deserves to feel light, not weighed down by someone else's unspoken demands or their unwillingness to take responsibility for their own emotions. They don't respect your time. Have you ever waited for someone, maybe for a movie or just to hang out, and they were super late? Or perhaps they cancelled at the very last second, when you were already ready to go. That feeling, a little like your excitement draining away, that's a small peek into something bigger. When someone doesn't respect your time. Here's the thing. Time is one of the most precious gifts we have. We all get the same 24 hours in a day, no matter who we are. You can't buy more of it or save it up. It's like a quiet river, always flowing, never stopping. For ages, People have known this, understanding each moment is unique, gone forever, once it passes. So, when someone doesn't respect your time, it's not just about a few minutes. It's about them not valuing a piece of your unrepeatable life. Imagine you've planned to meet a friend for a science project. You clear your schedule, gather materials, and you're ready. But your friend messages hours later, saying they forgot, or they show up an hour late without a good reason. That lost hour, that planning, that energy, it's gone. It's like setting up a delicate experiment that needs precise timing, but someone just bumps the table. It makes you wonder how much they truly care about your shared work, or even your effort. And that's why it matters so much in relationships. How someone treats your time really shows how they value you. It's a quiet signal, like a whisper in the wind. If they don't care about your time, it can feel like they don't care about your feelings, your plans, or even your very presence. Our time is our life, moment by moment, and how someone respects those moments tells us a lot about their respect for us. Always asking for money, what does it truly mean to share your world with someone? When we care for another, we want to help. But sometimes, a pattern appears, like a quiet, unsettling echo in the halls of trust. This is when someone you care about, in a close relationship, always seems to be asking for money. It's not a one-time thing, like needing help with a lost wallet. It becomes a regular request, a steady drip in conversation. Here's the thing, since ancient times, people have talked about balance in relationships. Many old stories and wise sayings describe giving and receiving, about two hands coming together to make something strong. If one person always gives, and the other always takes, that balance gets thrown off. It's like a scale where one side is always loaded, and the other floats too high. It stops being about sharing, starting to feel like a burden. Imagine two friends, on a big school project. One friend always has an excuse why they can't buy the poster board or markers, always asking you to pay. They might say, "I forgot my money," or "Can you just get it? I'll pay you back." But they never really do. After a while, you feel it in your gut. It's not just about the money. It's about the feeling that you're pulling all the weight, that your kindness is being used. That's feeling. This subtle ache tells you something important. A healthy connection feels like two people walking side by side, sharing the path and the load. When someone constantly asks for money, you might wonder if they see you as a person to love, or just a source of help. It can slowly chip away at your sense of fairness, making the relationship feel less like a partnership and more like a never-ending request. A true connection shines brightest when both people bring what they can, not just what they need, and that's why it matters. Making you choose between friends. Have you ever thought about how many different people light up your life? Like stars in a night sky, each friend shines with a unique glow. But what if someone you cared about started asking you to dim the light of those other stars? What if they wanted to be the only light for you? Here's the thing. A red flag waves when someone tries to make you choose between them and your friends. They might get upset if you spend time with others, or make you feel guilty for having different connections. This isn't about healthy boundaries, it's about control. It's like they want to build a small walled garden just for the two of you, cutting you off from the diverse world you live in. For a long time, people have understood that humans need many kinds of connections. Old thinkers, like the Greek philosopher Aristotle, talked about how important varied friendships are. Some friends are for fun, some help you out, but the deepest ones are about truly caring for each other's good. When someone tries to pull you away from these bonds, it can leave you feeling isolated and less whole. Imagine your life is a beautiful song. Each friend, each family member, each hobby you love is a different instrument. They all add to the melody. You have flutes, drums, guitars, all playing together. This creates a rich, full sound. But if someone comes along and says, "No, only my instrument can play," the song becomes very thin. It loses its joy. It's not a full orchestra anymore, just a single, repeated note. So, when someone asks you to cut off the people who support you, who know different parts of you, remember this. True connection doesn't shrink your world. It expands it. It adds more colors to your canvas, more notes to your song. A real bond makes your life bigger, not smaller. And that's a beautiful thing to protect. They don't have their own friends. Have you ever stopped to think about what makes a person feel truly whole and happy? It's a quiet kind of question, one that makes you look inward. Sometimes, in relationships, we see something that feels a little off, like a tiny whisper you can barely hear. One of those whispers is when someone you're close to doesn't have their own friends. Here's the thing. It's not about how many friends someone has, but about having a life outside of just one person. Thinkers throughout time, from ancient times to now, have often spoken about how important it is for people to have many different kinds of connections. They believed that to really grow and understand yourself, you need many different voices, different views. It's like a garden. A healthy garden has many different kinds of plants, not just one. Each plant brings its own color and strength. Imagine looking into a still pond. If there's only one light shining on it, you only see one reflection. But if there are many different lights, the sun, the moon, a distant star, you see so many more layers, so much more depth. Your friends are like those different lights. They help you see different parts of yourself. One friend might bring out your silly side, another your quiet thoughts, another your brave spirit. They offer different kinds of comfort, different kinds of fun, different kinds of challenges. So when someone only has you, you become their only light, their only mirror. That's a lot of weight for one person to carry, isn't it? It can feel like they depend on you for everything, their fun, their comfort, their whole world. And that's why it matters. A person who stands strong in their own circle of friends, separate from their romantic life, shows they have their own interests, their own support system, their own complete world. It means they're choosing to share their life with you, not needing you to be their only source of light. They bring a full, vibrant self to the relationship, adding to it rather than pulling from it to fill an empty space. And that's a beautiful thing. Not having any goals. Have you ever felt like you're just floating along without knowing where you're going? It's a strange feeling, like being on a boat in a big ocean with no compass. This is what it can feel like when we don't have any goals. In our lives, especially in how we approach love and relationships, it's not about having huge plans for every single moment. It's more about having a quiet sense of direction. When someone has no goals, it means they don't have a picture in their mind of what they want their life to be like, even a fuzzy one. They might not think about what kind of person they want to be, or what kind of future they hope to build. It's like they're just reacting to whatever happens, instead of moving toward something on purpose. Ancient thinkers, people who lived long ago and thought deeply about life, often talked about this. They believed that to live a truly good life, you needed a purpose, a reason for what you do. It wasn't about being busy, but about having meaning. If you build a house, you need a blueprint, right? You need a goal for what that house will look like. Without it, you just pile up wood and bricks, and it won't make sense. Think about a small seed. It has a tiny, quiet goal, to grow into a plant, to reach for the sun. It doesn't scream about it, but it moves with intention. If a person in a relationship has no goals, they might not think about growing, or what kind of partner they want to be. They might just exist. And here's the thing, while it might seem peaceful to just drift, over time, that lack of direction can feel heavy. It's like a song without a melody, or a story without an ending. Life can feel aimless, a bit empty. Even small goals, like I want to be a kinder friend today, or I want to learn something new, give our hearts and minds a quiet path. They give us a gentle reason to wake up and move forward, making our journey feel more complete, more real. Talking over you constantly. Have you ever felt your words vanished, like they turn to smoke before they even leave your lips? This is what it feels like when someone talks over you constantly. It's not just about politeness, it's about a sense of being heard, or not being heard at all. Imagine you're carefully choosing your thoughts, putting them together like building blocks, ready to share them. But just as you start, someone else begins speaking, their voice louder, taking up all the space. Your words crumble. Your idea disappears into the air. For thousands of years, people have known that listening is a powerful thing. Ancient thinkers, from different parts of the world, talked about how important it was to truly hear others, not just wait for your turn to speak. They believed real wisdom came from a back and forth, a shared space where everyone's thoughts could be present. It's like a dance, where each person takes a step, pauses, and then the other responds. Think about a shared musical performance. If one person plays their instrument so loudly, or sings their part so strongly, that no one else can hear their own melody, what kind of song do you get? It's just noise, not harmony. A conversation is a bit like that. It's meant to be a duet, a shared tune, where everyone gets to add their part, their unique sound. But when someone constantly talks over you, it's like they're trying to sing your verse, or maybe even your whole song, before you've had a chance to open your mouth. It can make you feel small, like your thoughts aren't important enough to matter. But here's the thing. Every voice holds a unique kind of light. Every thought has value. True connection isn't about one person shining brightest, but about creating enough space for everyone's light to shine. The quiet act of listening, of truly giving someone room to speak, is a profound gift. It shows respect, and it builds a bridge between two minds. And that's why it matters deeply. Laughing at your worries. Have you ever felt a worry so big it felt like a dark cloud following you? It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? But what if, just for a moment, you could look at that worry and find a tiny bit of light? Laughing at your worries isn't about pretending they don't exist. It's about taking away their power. Think of it like standing bravely in front of a scary shadow. You realize it's only a shadow because something small is blocking the light. Ancient thinkers, long ago, understood something important about our minds. They knew that often, our fear of something is worse than the thing itself. An old Roman philosopher, Seneca, wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. He meant our minds make worries feel huge. But if you can look at that giant worry and find a strange, small piece of humor, even just a chuckle, you're changing your view. You're not ignoring the problem. You're stopping it from taking over. Here's an example. You're about to give a presentation. Your stomach is doing flips. You're worried you'll mess up your words. That worry feels huge. But then you imagine saying banana instead of data. For a second, a tiny smile touches your lips. Or maybe you picture everyone else also feeling nervous. Suddenly, your worry doesn't feel so lonely. That small moment of lightness, that tiny laugh at the absurdity, is a powerful trick. It's like a little secret superpower. It doesn't make the presentation disappear, but it shrinks the monster of fear down to a manageable size dot. So when worries about love or friendship feel too big, try to find that small space for a smile. It's not about being silly, it's about building strength. It's about understanding that even the deepest fears can sometimes be softened by a gentle, knowing laugh. This can help you see clearly, and maybe, just maybe, it helps you step forward with a lighter heart. Not celebrating your wins. Have you ever felt that little burst of pride after doing something really well, like acing a tough test or winning a game? And then, when you told someone you cared about, they just didn't seem to notice. Here's the thing. It's a big deal when the person closest to you doesn't celebrate your wins, big or small. This isn't just about clapping or cheering. It's about truly seeing your joy, feeling it with you, and being genuinely happy for your success. It shows if they are connected to your world in a meaningful way. Long ago, thinkers like Aristotle understood this. They talked about how true friends share in both sadness and happiness. It's not just about being polite. It's about a deep understanding that your happiness adds to theirs. If someone constantly ignores your good moments, it breaks that shared joy. Think about a sunflower. It turns to the sun, drawing energy and growing. Your wins are like sunshine for your spirit. When you share them, you're looking for someone to turn towards you, to soak in that light, helping you grow. But if they just look away, or act like the sun isn't even shining, it can make your own light feel dim. It's like sharing a really great joke and getting a blank stare back. And that's why it matters. When someone doesn't celebrate your wins, it's not just a missed high-five. It can be a quiet signal that they're not fully invested in your growth or happiness. It might mean they don't see your strengths or don't value the things that make you shine. A loving connection should lift you up, not dim your light. It's something important to reflect on. They always need attention. Have you ever met someone who seems to always need you to look at them, praise them, or focus only on them? It's more than just wanting to be seen or heard sometimes, which we all do. This is different. It's like a deep, unending thirst for attention, a constant need for others to fill them up. No matter how much you give, it often feels like it's never enough. They might interrupt conversations to make themselves the topic, or always seek compliments, even getting upset if they don't get special notice. For a long time, thinkers have wondered about this feeling. Ancient philosophers might say it's about looking for happiness outside yourself, instead of finding it within. We all need connection, and we all want to feel valued. But here's the problem. When someone only relies on others for their worth, it can be a heavy burden. True peace, they might say, comes from understanding your own value. no matter what others say. Think about a sunflower. It needs sunlight to grow big and strong, right? It turns its face to the sun. But imagine a sunflower that constantly demanded to be moved, always wanting more light than it could possibly use. It would exhaust itself and might even wither. This is like a person who always needs attention. They can drain the energy of those around them because they're searching for something outside that can only truly be found inside. You can't be someone else's entire sun. And here's the thing, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What happens when our happiness depends only on what others give us? It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. That feeling of needing constant praise can be a quiet signal. It reminds us that real strength, lasting joy, comes from the gentle light you find within yourself. You can appreciate others, but you also need to find your own shine. Getting upset when you're busy. Have you ever noticed how some people get really bothered, even upset, when you try to talk to them or ask for something when they're busy with something else? It's like they have an invisible shield. If you break through it, even just to say hi, they might snap. This isn't just focus, it's quick anger. Their task feels more important than your presence. Their mind is so locked on one thing. Anything else feels like an attack on their concentration. Think about how people throughout history valued focus. Ancient thinkers spoke of a calm mind, able to concentrate deeply, but they also spoke of balance. The idea wasn't to push others away. It was about controlling your own mind, not letting outside things throw you off. A calm person could pause, work and return to it without anger. It's about managing our inner world when others make demands. Imagine you're deep into building something cool in a video game, or practicing a song for a performance. If someone asks what's for dinner, you might feel a small jolt, but if your immediate reaction is sharp anger, a quick "can't you see I'm busy," and an annoyed tone, that's different. A healthy reaction might be as simple just a sec, or a quick pause to answer. It's about how quickly frustration turns into real upset, and how you treat the person. So, when someone often reacts this way, it might mean they struggle with managing their own feelings. It suggests their ability to handle stress is limited, or they put tasks above being gentle and patient. True connection asks for a moment of attention, even when busy. A relationship needs space for both focus and kindness. It's about making room for others, even when our own minds are full. Your friends don't like them. Have you ever noticed how your closest friends seem to have a special way of seeing things, even about your own life? It's like they have a different lens. So, what happens when you start liking someone, really liking them, but your friends just don't? They might not say it directly, but you can feel it. Maybe they pull away when this person is around, or they change the subject. Here's the thing. It's easy to dismiss their feelings. You might think, they don't know them like I do, or they're just being protective. And yes, sometimes that's true, but often, it's a quiet whisper from a place of love. Think about it like this. For thousands of years, people didn't just decide things alone. They leaned on their tribe, their village elders, their family. Even ancient Greek philosophers talked about the polis, the community, shaping our understanding of what's good and true. Your friends, in a way, are your modern-day polis. They see you clearly, without the rosy glasses that new love can sometimes put on your face. They know your history, your dreams, your little quirks. Imagine trying to solve a puzzle. If you only look at it from one angle, you might miss a crucial piece. But if you have friends looking at it with you, from different sides, they can spot things you can't. It's like having multiple cameras aimed at the same event. One camera might only catch a smile, but another might see the subtle hesitation in someone's eyes. Your friends offer those extra cameras. They notice patterns, small signs, or even changes in you when you're around this person. Maybe you become quieter, or less joyful, or just different in a way that doesn't feel like you. This doesn't mean your friends are always right, or that you should let them choose your path, but it means their feelings are a gift, a soft lantern held up in the dark. It's a call to pause, to look deeper, and to trust that love that surrounds you, the love from your friends. They want what's best for you, truly, and sometimes their quiet discomfort is a signal worth listening to, a gentle reminder to ask yourself, what are they seeing that I might be missing? What truth is hidden in their silence? Family members have concerns. Have you ever wondered why the people who love us most often see things we can't? This is especially true when choosing someone to spend time with. It's like they have special eyes, looking past the surface, into a person's spirit. When your family, like parents or a trusted aunt, starts sharing worries about someone you care for, it's a gentle whisper from deep love. They aren't trying to control you. They see a small shadow you might miss because you're standing in the sun. Think about how people lived long ago. In many old communities, life was shared. A whole village helped raise a child. Everyone looked out for each other. If a new person came, or if someone acted strangely, the group noticed. This wasn't gossip. It was about protecting everyone. This old wisdom says sometimes a group's eyes, especially those who truly care, can spot what one person, deep in love or hope, might miss. Imagine building a tall tower with blocks. You're focused on placing each block perfectly, but someone standing back, like your family, sees the whole tower grow. They might notice if one block is crooked, or if the base isn't strong. You're too close to feel a slight wobble. They see the chance for the tower to fall. They speak up because they want your future tower to stand strong and beautiful. So, when a loved one voices a concern, try to listen. Don't be defensive. Be curious. Their words aren't meant to hurt you. Instead, they reflect their wish for your safety and lasting joy. It's a moment to pause, to look through their eyes. Their quiet worries are like tiny lanterns, lighting a path you didn't know was there. And those lights can guide you toward a truer, safer happiness. They never apologize for real. Have you ever heard someone say, "I'm sorry," but felt like the words just hung in the air, empty, like a beautiful, hollow shell? A true apology is more than just words. It's about understanding the hurt you caused. It's taking responsibility, truly. Then, it's showing you want to do better, to mend what's broken. It's a deep feeling, not just a sound. Wise people through history knew apologies weren't magic words. Old traditions often asked for more than just saying sorry. They wanted actions, a real effort to make things right. They understood an apology is a bridge built with care, not just empty hopes. It's about repairing the unseen connections between people. Think about a spiderweb after a storm. If a gust tears apart, just saying "I'm sorry" won't fix it. The spider has to carefully the silk, reconnecting each strand. That takes effort. In our own lives, imagine you accidentally break your friend's favorite pencil. Saying "oops, my bad" isn't enough if you don't offer to replace it or show you regret being careless. A real apology is like that mending work. It rebuilds trust, one careful strand at a time. It acknowledges the damage and commits to repair. So when someone never truly apologizes, it's like they're refusing to mend the web. They leave the broken parts frayed. This teaches us something. Deep connections grow when we see our mistakes, feel their weight, and work to heal. It's quiet courage to face the damage and commit to a kinder path. This willingness to apologize, or lack of it, reveals much about a person's heart. Making you feel like a burden. Have you ever felt like you were just too much? Maybe like your feelings, or your simple needs, were a heavy weight for someone else to carry. Imagine a quiet feeling that shrinks you, makes you smaller inside. This is what it means when someone makes you feel like a burden. It's when they make you believe that needing them, or sharing your thoughts, is an inconvenience. They might sigh, or subtly hint that your presence is tiresome. This makes you hesitate to ask for help, or even to just be yourself. It can leave you feeling like you should apologize for existing, for simply having needs. This feeling can slowly chip away at your spirit. Long ago, wise thinkers understood something important about being human. They knew that everyone has worth, simply by being alive. Part of that worth means we deserve to feel safe and supported, never having to say sorry. For our needs, true connections are about people lifting each other up. No one should be made to feel like a heavy load. Our basic human dignity means we are allowed to need, to grow, and to lean on others. Think about a small plant. It needs water, sun, and good soil. If a gardener constantly complained, "Ugh, you need water again, so much work," or "you're taking up too much space," the plant wouldn't stop needing water, but it would struggle to grow. Its leaves might droop. Your needs are like that water and sunlight. They are essential. If a friend constantly makes you feel like your normal needs, like asking for help or wanting to share a quiet moment, are an annoyance, it makes it hard for you to truly bloom. Here's the thing. You are not a burden. Your value isn't tied to how little you ask for. Your feelings, your thoughts, your very presence, these are not inconveniences. A real, healthy connection finds strength in supporting each other. It doesn't weigh you down with guilt for being human. It welcomes your needs with understanding, creating a space where you can simply be, without apology. It should feel like a soft landing, not a constant uphill climb. Always changing the subject. Have you ever tried to talk about something important, something truly on your mind, and the other person just changes the topic? It's like building a bridge with words, but they suddenly point somewhere else. When someone constantly changes the subject, especially when you bring up feelings or problems, it feels like they're dodging. Maybe they don't want to face uncomfortable truths, or perhaps they're not ready to be open. Think about how important honest talk has always been. For centuries, thinkers like the philosopher Socrates knew being truthful, even when hard, was key to understanding yourself and others. Avoiding tough talks means avoiding true understanding. It's like a tiny splinter in your finger. You can talk about video games all day, but that splinter is still there. It will probably hurt more later because it wasn't dealt with. Imagine you ask a friend, "Is everything okay between us?" Instead of answering, they quickly say, "Did you see that new movie trailer?" That's a deflection. They're not letting you in love. This is a quiet signal. It tells you they might not be comfortable sharing their inner world, or they might be holding something back. This kind of avoidance stops a real deep connection from growing. So, when someone constantly shifts gears in conversation, reflect on what's happening. It's not about judging them. It's about understanding the space they're creating for your connection. True closeness needs an open door, not a constantly changing maze of topics. Honest words, even difficult ones, are like strong, shimmering threads. They weave people together into something lasting and beautiful. Without them, the delicate fabric of trust might unravel, piece by piece. They don't trust you have. You ever felt like someone was always checking on you? Not in a caring way, but like they just didn't quite believe you. Maybe they asked the same question over and over, even after you answered. Or they seemed to doubt where you were or who you were with, even when you told them honestly. This feeling, this shadow, shows they don't trust you. Here's the thing. Trust is like the invisible string that connects people. It's what lets us relax and be ourselves around another person. Think about it. When you trust a bridge, you walk across it without fear. You don't stop and test every plank. You just go. If you don't trust it, every step feels unsure. You might not even cross. Thinkers for centuries understood how important this feeling is. Ancient thinkers often wrote that honesty and trust were the glue of a good community. They knew that if people couldn't trust each other's words, everything would fall apart. It's the same in a friendship or family. If someone constantly questions you, it's like they're saying, "I don't believe your planks are strong." And that's why it matters. When someone doesn't trust you, it feels like living under a magnifying glass. Every move, every word, seems to be watched. You start to feel guarded, like you need to prove yourself all the time. But you shouldn't have to prove your truth. Your word should be enough. A relationship without trust isn't where you can grow. It's like a small room with no windows, where you can't fully breathe. Beautiful connections are built on a calm, deep belief in each other. It's about feeling safe enough to just be you, knowing they see you, believe you, and accept your truth without question. Hiding their phone from you. Have you ever wondered what makes a secret feel heavy? What happens when a phone, this small window to someone's world, suddenly feels like a closed door? It's not just about what messages are on the screen. Here's the thing, it's about the feeling that something important is being hidden from you. When someone constantly angles their phone away, or quickly closes it, a subtle wall begins to rise. This isn't just privacy, which everyone needs. It's secrecy, keeping things hidden when trust should be open. People have always kept private things, a locked diary, a hidden letter. These personal spaces are understood, holding thoughts meant for only one, but in close connections, like a friendship, there's an unspoken understanding of a shared world, a woven tapestry of lives. Hiding a phone challenges that natural openness. Imagine you and a friend are painting a mural together. You both add colors to a big picture. You see each other's work, feeling like a team. But what if your friend hides a part of their painting with their arm, not letting you see? It changes how the project feels. That's how it feels when a phone is always hidden. It makes you wonder what part of the picture you're building together is being kept from you. It's not about being suspicious or demanding to know everything. It's about a quiet question in your heart. Why the need to hide? Every true connection needs safety and understanding. When something is constantly hidden, it's like a shadow falling across that shared space, making it harder for trust to breathe. A true connection thrives in the light, not in the shadows. It asks you to think about the openness you need to feel safe and seen. Disappearing without a word. Have you ever thought about what it means for someone to just vanish? Imagine you're talking to a friend, sharing your thoughts, making plans, and then, without warning, they simply stop responding. No text back, no call, no explanation at all. They just disappear, as if they were never there. This isn't new. For a long time, humans have needed things to have an ending. Think about ancient stories. Even when they were sad, they still had a conclusion. When someone leaves without a word, it goes against this deep human need for clarity, for understanding. It leaves a space that feels unfinished, like a melody that suddenly cuts off mid-note. Here's the thing. When someone just stops communicating, it leaves you hanging. It's a bit like building a complicated puzzle with someone, piece by piece, and then suddenly, they just walk away without a sound, leaving you with half a picture and no idea why they left. You're left wondering, not just about what happened to them, but also about yourself. Did I do something wrong? Was it my fault? But here's what I found. Often, when someone disappears like this, it has little to do with you. It's usually about their own discomfort with difficult conversations or their own fears. It's hard to say goodbye or to explain why things aren't working out, but silence, when it's unexpected, can often be louder and more painful than any words. It leaves a kind of quiet echo. It reminds us how important it is to treat each other with respect, even when things are hard. Everyone deserves an honest ending, a chance to understand, even if the truth is tough. A clear, kind ending, even a difficult one, honors the connection that was there. And that's why it matters. A silent vanishing can leave a longer, colder shadow than an honest, spoken farewell. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. Have you ever felt a deep quiet settle inside you when you're around someone? A hush that makes you careful. It's a strange, heavy feeling, like every step needs to be perfectly placed. This is what it means to feel like you're walking on eggshells. You hold your breath, worried about upsetting them. You pick every word with care. You try not to make any sudden moves. The old saying paints a clear picture. Imagine stepping onto a floor of fragile, empty shells. One wrong move, and everything shatters. This idea has been around for ages, showing how people have always understood delicate balances in relationships. It means constantly being alert, trying not to cause trouble. Here's the thing about this feeling, it really drains you. Muscles tense, breath held. They focus on not falling. Imagine feeling like that every day, in your own home or with friends. You can't be your true self. You can't relax or speak freely. It's like a quiet alarm always buzzing in your head. Perhaps you've had a friend who got upset over small things. Maybe a joke that missed the mark, or an opinion that sparked an argument. So, slowly, you learned to be careful around them. You changed yourself to fit into the small space they allowed. But here's the thoughtful part. Real connection should feel like solid ground. It should be a place where you can be yourself, mess up, and still feel safe. If you're constantly tiptoeing, afraid to break something, it might be a sign the connection isn't healthy. Our hearts need room to be real. We all deserve relationships where we can be ourselves, without fear. Pressuring you to do things. Have you ever felt a gentle suggestion turn into a heavy hand, pushing you somewhere you don't want to go? It's an unsettling feeling, isn't it? When someone you care about starts pressuring you, they're not helping you grow. Instead, they're trying to make you fit into their idea of who you should be. They might want you to dress differently, hang out with certain people, or even change your dreams. This kind of push often feels like a weight, not a lift. Here's the thing about true connection. It feels like an open sky, full of possibilities, not a closed box. For centuries, wise people have spoken about knowing yourself. From ancient Greek philosophers like Socrates, who urged, "Know thyself," to thinkers through history, the message has been that your inner voice is your truest guide. When someone pressures you, they're not honoring that quiet, powerful voice within you. They're trying to replace it with their own expectations. Think about a small, fragile seed. If you want it to grow into a strong plant, you give it good soil, sunlight, and water. You don't try to pull it open or force it into a different shape. If you do, it breaks or never truly flourishes. When someone pressures you to do things that don't feel right, they are not helping you blossom. They are trying to reshape your essence, This can hurt your spirit, making you feel small, unheard, and terribly out of tune with your own heart. So listen closely to how your feelings respond. That quiet inner compass is always guiding you. A relationship built on true love and deep respect allows you the space to be exactly who you are, to explore, and to grow at your own unique pace. It's like a flower turning towards the sun, freely, and naturally finding its own beauty. It should never feel like you're being squeezed into a mold. They don't listen to advice. Have you ever tried to tell a friend something important, maybe about a tricky situation or a path that seemed dangerous, and they just didn't hear you? It's like your words floated past them, unheard. This silence, this refusal to listen to advice, especially when it comes from care, can be a quiet kind of red flag. Think about it. From the earliest days, people learned by listening. Our ancestors told stories around fires, warning about dangerous animals, or showing the best way to find food. Wisdom was passed down, a gift from those who had walked before us. To ignore this shared knowledge is to choose a lonely, often difficult, road. Decay. It means closing yourself off from the lessons of the world and the loving whispers of those who wish you well. Imagine you have a beautiful, delicate plant that needs a lot of sunlight and a certain kind of soil. Your friend, the gardener, tells you exactly what to do. They've grown this plant many times, but you decide to put it in the shade, in sticky, wrong soil, because you think you know better. The plant slowly wilts. You keep doing the same thing, even when your friend gently reminds you. This isn't just about a plant, it's about a pattern. It shows a deep resistance to learning, to changing, even when the outcome is clearly not working. In relationships, this can feel like trying to build a bridge with someone who keeps ignoring the blueprint. When someone consistently ignores advice, especially about their own actions that hurt them or others, it suggests they aren't willing to truly see, to truly grow. They might be stuck in a cycle, choosing to repeat mistakes rather than open their minds and hearts to guidance. This isn't just stubbornness. It can be a refusal to connect on a deeper level where mutual learning happens. And sometimes, the kindest thing we can do for ourselves is to notice when our words are truly not being heard, and gently step away from that one-sided conversation. Always complaining about everything. Have you ever noticed how some whispers turn into a constant stream? A stream of what's wrong, what's unfair, what isn't good enough. This isn't just a bad day, or a passing frustration. It's when every single thing, big or small, becomes a reason to sigh, to frown, to find fault. It's like a filter over their eyes, showing only the cracks, never the wildflowers growing nearby. This way of seeing things can become a very deep habit for the mind. Think about ancient thinkers, like the Stoics, who lived a long time ago. They thought about how to find true peace. They knew real calm came from within, from how you choose to see the world, not just what the world gives you. They believed focusing only on what you can't control, and just complaining, won't make your spirit lighter. It often makes it heavier. Imagine your brain is like a garden. If you keep planting weeds of complaint, like this isn't right, or that's not fair, those weeds will grow. They can take over the garden, leaving little room for beautiful flowers like gratitude or joy. Think about a rainy day. One person might grumble about the mud, about ruined plans. They see only the wet, grey sky. But another might see flowers drinking, or enjoy the cozy sound of rain. It's the same rain, but two different ways of seeing it. That's how our minds work. We can gently train them. So, when someone in your life seems caught in that pattern, always finding fault, it's like they're living under their own tiny, personal rain cloud. It's hard to see the sun with them. And here's the thing, that constant cloud can spread its shadow. It makes it hard for joy to find a home in a relationship. Our words, the ones we choose to speak, are powerful. They help build the world we live in and the world we share. A life filled with constant complaints can feel like a room with closed windows, where the air feels heavy. And that's why it matters. Making jokes that hurt you have. You ever heard a joke that felt less like laughter and more like a quiet ache in your chest? It's a strange feeling, isn't it, when someone says they're just kidding, but their words leave a bruise. Here's the thing, real humor lifts us up. It brings joy, it builds connections. But sometimes, words dressed up as a joke are actually tiny, sharp jabs aimed right at your heart. They chip away at how you see yourself, or how safe you feel with that person. For centuries, people have thought about the power of words. Ancient thinkers, and even just wise old stories, often share a similar idea. True wit doesn't come from cruelty. A real jest, a genuine laugh, should make everyone feel lighter, not just the person telling it. If a joke needs to make someone feel small or embarrassed to be funny, then maybe it's not funny at all. It's more like a secret weapon, used to gain power or control. Think of it like this. Imagine your favorite blanket, the one that makes you feel cozy and safe. Now imagine someone keeps picking at a single thread, saying, "Oh, it's just one thread, it won't hurt the blanket." But over time, if they keep pulling at different threads, the blanket starts to unravel. It loses its warmth, its comfort. Those seemingly small, harmless jokes can be like those pulled threads. They might seem tiny on their own, but when they happen again and again, they start to unravel your sense of worth and trust. A healthy relationship, a true connection, is a place where you should feel seen and valued, not slowly worn down by words that wound. Love should feel like a safe harbor, a place of quiet strength and understanding. When someone truly cares, they protect your heart, not poke at it, even with a smile. It's about respecting the delicate strength of another person's spirit, not respecting your space. Have you ever felt like you just needed to be alone, even if you really liked the people around you? Maybe you needed quiet time to think, or just a few moments in your own room. That feeling is about needing your space, and when someone truly cares for you, they understand and respect that. Here's the thing. Everyone has an invisible personal bubble. It's not just physical room, like how far you stand from someone. It's also about your mental and emotional space. It's your time, your thoughts, your feelings that are just for you. Thinkers long ago, even in ancient Greece, understood that each person has their own inner life, a private garden of their mind. It's where your unique ideas bloom and where you can truly be yourself, without anyone watching. Imagine you have a favorite tree in your backyard. For that tree to grow tall and strong, it needs its own spot in the sun. It needs its own soil, its own roots stretching out, not all tangled up with another tree. If something is always crowding it, blocking its light, or digging up its roots, that tree won't thrive. It's the same for us. We need our own sunlight and soil, our own personal space, and time to grow into the best versions of ourselves. When someone doesn't respect your space, it's like they're always trying to plant themselves right on top of your tree, blocking your sun. Maybe they text you non-stop, even when you said you need to study, or they show up uninvited when you've said you need quiet time. This can feel like they don't trust you, or don't care about your feelings, or what you need to do for yourself. True connection isn't about being glued together every second. It's about giving each other room to breathe and grow, trusting that when you come back together, your connection will be even stronger because you both had room to shine. It's a quiet understanding that says, "I care about you, and I also care about your need to be you." Never saying "I like you" back. What happens when you open your heart? Sharing a small, tender "I like you," but the words hang in the air, unanswered. It's not always a harsh no. Sometimes, the silence is louder than any shouted word. This quiet, non-response, the absence of an echo, can be one of love's first, soft red flags. It's like standing at the edge of a vast, empty canyon. You call out, your voice filled with hopeful expectation, waiting for your own words to bounce back, a sign of something real. But there's nothing, just the wide, still silence swallowing your voice whole. For centuries, thinkers have noticed how much we need to see ourselves reflected in others. It's like the old idea of reciprocity, a fancy word for give and take. Imagine you hold up a mirror. You expect to see your own face looking back, right? You expect a reflection. That's how connection often works. When someone says, "I like you," they're holding up a kind of mirror, showing you their feelings. If the person they're talking to doesn't show anything back, doesn't reflect even a tiny bit of warmth or acknowledgement, it's like looking into a mirror that just shows a blank wall. It feels empty. It feels like your heart's quiet offering just disappeared. It tells you something important about the connection. This isn't about blaming anyone. Maybe they just don't feel the same, and that's perfectly okay. But it's a gentle whisper, a signal that this connection might be built on only one person's effort. True connection, the kind that truly grows and lasts, usually needs two people offering their own reflections, their own echoes. It reminds us to notice where our feelings land. Do they find a home, even a small, cozy one? Or do they simply disappear into the quiet, vast air? Knowing this helps us understand what kind of love truly reflects us back. warm and clear, like the best kind of mirror. Always negative about your ideas. Have you ever felt a little spark inside, a new idea wanting to be born? Maybe it's a dream for a project, a thought about what you want to be, or even just a fun plan for the weekend. When you share that spark, that piece of your mind, with someone important, how do they react? This section is about what happens when someone you care about always meets your ideas with a cloud of doubt or a wave of negativity. It's not about them sometimes disagreeing. It's about a constant stream of "that won't work," or "that's silly," or "you can't do that." Throughout history, human progress has always started with an idea. Someone thought, what if we could fly? Or what if we could make music from this? Ideas are fragile at first, like tiny seedlings pushing through the soil. They need sunlight and gentle rain to grow strong and tall, not a harsh storm that beats them down. Thinkers have often talked about how important it is for us to express our creative thoughts. It's a big part of what makes us human, this ability to dream and create. When our ideas are constantly shut down, it can feel like a part of our spirit is being told to stay quiet. Imagine you're working on a big art project for school, maybe a painting you're really proud of, or building something with Legos that looks amazing to you. You're super excited about it. You show it to someone you trust, someone whose opinion matters, and every single time, they point out only what's wrong. That color is off. That piece doesn't fit right. It's never going to be good enough. After a while, you might start to hide your art. You might stop feeling excited about it. You might even stop trying to create new things altogether. That's a bit like what happens when someone is always negative about your ideas. Our ideas are pieces of our mind, bits of our imagination. They are how we explore the world and ourselves. When someone we care about consistently makes us feel small for having those ideas, it can dim our light. It can make us doubt our own thoughts, our own worth. It's important to be with people who let your ideas breathe, who let them have a chance, even if they're just tiny seeds. Because true connection should make your world feel bigger, not smaller. You feel like you can't be yourself. Imagine, for a moment, that feeling deep inside you, the one that whispers, "Am I truly myself right now?" This is when you feel like you have to dim your light, hide your true thoughts, or pretend to be someone you're not. It's like a quiet tug-of-war within your own spirit, a gentle but persistent pull to change who you are, to fit into someone else's idea of you. You might find yourself agreeing to things you don't believe, or laughing at jokes that aren't really funny to you. For centuries, wise people, from ancient philosophers to modern poets, have told us how important it is to know thyself. This isn't just a clever saying. It's about finding your authentic core, the real you that makes you unique. It's about understanding what makes you tick, what brings you joy, and even what makes you feel vulnerable. When you are with someone who makes you feel like you can't show these parts of yourself, it's like trying to live inside a box that's far too small for your spirit. Think of it like a beautiful song. Each person has their own unique melody and rhythm. When you're with someone who truly appreciates you, your song can play freely, loud and clear. But if you feel you have to change your notes, or sing a different tune just to be heard, that natural music inside you gets muffled. It's like trying to force a vibrant, flowing river into a tiny, winding stream. Your energy gets blocked. This kind of feeling can drain you, making you feel smaller instead of bigger. Your true self is a precious gift. It's the unique blend of all your hopes, quirks, and dreams. To hide that, to shrink yourself, means that the connection isn't really with you, but with a version you've created. A healthy connection lets your truest self breathe, grow, and simply be. It celebrates the authentic masterpiece that you already are, encouraging you to shine even brighter and show the world your true colors. They don't care about your health. What does it truly mean for someone to care for your health? It's a deep, quiet understanding of your whole self, body, mind, feelings, spirit. Here's the thing, when someone doesn't truly care about your well-being, it shows. Maybe they pushed you to stay up super late for their plans, even when you say you're tired. Or they might encourage unhealthy habits, ignoring your inner voice. They might even laugh off your worries. It's like they see you, but they don't see your needs. Long ago, wise thinkers talked about flourishing. This meant living a life of true growth. They believed true care meant helping others flourish. It was about wanting them to bloom, to thrive. Real love means wanting someone to soar. Imagine a delicate sapling. If the gardener only cares about themselves, They might place it in constant shade. They wouldn't notice it wilting, needing the sun. You are like that sapling. Someone who truly cares makes sure you get what you need, even if it changes their plans. They won't block your sun. When you think about true love, imagine someone helping you tend your inner garden. They see your delicate strength. They would never want to dim your light or let your spirit shrink. Their care is like a gentle shield, a soft promise. Your health matters to them. It's a quiet truth. Your well-being is precious, and real love protects it. Always bringing up past mistakes. Have you ever really thought about how memories work? Some of them, they just fade with time, like old photographs left in a dusty box. But what if someone you care about keeps bringing up things you did wrong a long time ago, even after you said sorry, after you tried your best to make things right? It's like they have a secret list, and they pull out an old mistake, again and again, whenever it suits them. This idea of always bringing up past mistakes is a bit like trying to drive a car while only looking in the rearview mirror. You can't see the road clearly ahead of you, can you? You can't move forward safely, not really. Instead, you're stuck looking at what's behind you, at an old bump or a wrong turn. It's like a song that keeps skipping back to the same sad note, over and over, never letting the music move on. Many wise thinkers, from long, long ago, shared this idea of letting go. They understood that the past is done. It's like a book you've already read. You can't change the words on those pages. What you can do is turn to a new chapter. If someone constantly reminds you of old hurts, it means they might be holding on to pain, or maybe even trying to control how you feel right now. Think about playing a video game. When you fail a level, you learn from it, right? You don't just keep replaying that failure scene forever. No, you hit restart or continue, and you try to do better in the next round. You aim for the win, for the next challenge, not just to relive the loss. In real life, truly healthy connections are built on understanding that people learn and grow. So, when old mistakes are always pulled into the light, it can make it really hard to feel truly forgiven. It makes it hard for new good moments to truly shine. A loving connection should feel like building something new together, brick by brick, every single day. It's not about constantly tearing down old walls just to show the cracks beneath. It's about seeing the person you are becoming, not just the person you used to be, and about creating a beautiful future, not endlessly replaying the past. Not being there when you need them. Imagine needing a steady hand and finding only empty air. This red flag isn't just about physical distance, it's about emotional distance, a quiet fading when you're facing a storm. It means they aren't truly present when it really matters, especially when life gets tough or you feel vulnerable. Ancient thinkers in old Greece knew this well. They talked about true friendship as having another self, someone who truly sees you and stands with you, not just during easy times. A real friend shares your burdens and your victories. It's about being a steady presence, like a lighthouse guiding you through fog. Don't think about being nervous for a big test or trying out for a team. You just want a kind word, or someone to say, "You got this," or maybe you messed up, and just need someone to listen. If the person who says they care is busy, dismissive, or just not there, it feels like a silent echo. It's like a bridge you expected to be solid, but parts are missing when you step on it. You don't necessarily fall, but you feel unsafe, unsupported, and alone. So, if someone is consistently absent when you need them, it's more than a small problem. It's a significant sign. It shows their true priorities and what they can truly give. Real connection means showing up, even when it's inconvenient or messy. It means being a safe harbor, a quiet reassurance. Love, in its truest form, is about presence. It's a bond that doesn't just hold when things are easy, but tightens when the waves get rough. It's about knowing you're not alone. They threaten to leave you. Have you ever felt like someone was holding a string tied to your heart, always ready to snip it? This red flag, "they threaten to leave you," feels a bit like that. It's when someone you care about uses the idea of walking away as a way to get what they want. They might say things like, "If you don't do this, I'm gone," or "Maybe we should just break up if you feel that way." This isn't about solving a problem together. It's about making you feel scared and giving in. Think about it like this. In old stories, brave knights and wise leaders built their power on trust and honor. People knew where they stood. They didn't use fear to keep their allies close. Instead, they showed strength through honesty and a steady heart. When someone threatens to leave, they're not acting from a place of trust. They're using a powerful, feeling your fear of loss to control the situation. It's like playing a board game where one player keeps threatening to flip the board over if they don't get their way. It stops being fun, and it breaks the rules of fair play. Here's the thing. Love, true connection, should feel like a safe harbor. It should be a place where you can talk, disagree, and grow, knowing that the other person isn't going to pull the rug out from under you. When threats become common, that safe feeling disappears. You might start walking on eggshells, always worried about saying or doing the wrong thing. It's like trying to build a tall tower on shaky ground. It will never feel truly secure. Your feelings and your peace are valuable. A love that truly cares wouldn't use threats as a tool. It would use understanding and patience. So, listen to that quiet whisper inside you that says, "This doesn't feel right." Your worth isn't something that can be threatened away. It's always there, steady and true, making you feel unworthy. Have you ever felt like you weren't quite enough? Like no matter what you did, it just wasn't good enough for someone else? When someone makes you feel unworthy, it's like they're trying to make you believe your light isn't bright enough. This isn't just about feeling a little sad sometimes. It's a quiet, steady chipping away at your spirit, making you doubt your own value. True love, the good kind, should make you feel bigger, not smaller. It should make your light shine brighter, not dim it. Think about old stories, even from thousands of years ago. Many ancient thinkers, like the wise people in ancient Greece, spent a lot of time talking about knowing yourself. They believed that understanding your own worth and believing in it was super important for a good life. They called it self-knowledge. It wasn't just about being smart. It was about having a strong, quiet belief in your own inner goodness. So, if someone is constantly trying to make you feel less than you are, they're going against this very old, very deep idea of what it means to be a whole person. Imagine you have a favorite plant, maybe a little sunflower you're trying to grow. It needs good soil, water, and plenty of sunshine to grow tall and strong. But what if someone kept telling your sunflower it was ugly, or not growing fast enough, or that it wasn't as good as other plants? Even if the sun was shining, those words would feel like a shadow. They might make you question if your plant could ever truly thrive. Your own spirit, your worth, is like that sunflower. It needs nourishment and belief, not constant criticism or doubt planted by someone else. So, here's the thing to remember. Your value, your worth, it's not something someone else gives to you, like a gift they can take away. It's already inside you, like a quiet, steady flame that belongs only to you. When someone tries to make you feel unworthy, they're really trying to make that flame flicker and go out. But you have to know this truth. That flame is yours alone. No one else gets to decide how brightly it burns. Keep that in mind. It's a truth worth holding on to tightly. They don't follow through. Have you ever heard someone say they'd do something important, and then they just didn't? Maybe they promised to call, or to help with a project, or to show up somewhere special, but their actions didn't match their words. This feeling, when someone doesn't follow through, can leave a quiet ache. It's not just about forgetting. It's about a pattern, a quiet unraveling of trust. Think about it like this. Words are seeds. When someone speaks a promise, it's like planting a seed in your heart. You imagine it growing into something real, something you can rely on. For thousands of years, people have understood that a person's word was incredibly valuable. In ancient times, a promise spoken aloud could be as strong as a signed contract today. It was a sign of honor, a way to show others you were reliable and true. When someone doesn't follow through, it's like planting a seed and then never watering it. The little seedling of hope and trust starts to wither. Imagine you have a beautiful houseplant that needs sunlight every day. Someone tells you, "Don't worry, I'll move it to the window each morning." But day after day, the plant stays in the shadows. Soon, its leaves droop. It's not that they meant to harm the plant, but their actions, or lack of them, caused a real problem. In love, when someone often says they'll do things but consistently doesn't, it slowly teaches you that their words don't carry much weight. So, here's the thing. It's wise to watch someone's actions more than just listen to their words. Real care and respect show up in what people do, not just what they say. When someone consistently doesn't follow through, it tells a story, a quiet truth about how much their promises mean. We all deserve connections where words are like solid stepping stones, leading somewhere good, not just pretty sounds that float away on the wind. Their actions don't match their words. Have you ever met someone who painted beautiful pictures with their words, but then their actions told a completely different story? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Like reading one book, but watching a different movie based on it. Here's the thing. Sometimes, what people say and what they do don't line up. They might tell you how much they care, how they'll always be there, or how important something is to them. These words can feel warm and comforting, almost like a soft blanket, but then, their actual choices, their daily habits, or how they treat you show something else entirely. It's like they're singing a sweet song while quietly doing the opposite dance. This idea is really old, actually. For thousands of years, people have noticed this gap. It's a truth that has echoed through time. There's a very old saying, actions speak louder than words, and it's stuck around for a powerful reason. It means that what someone does tells you more about them than what they say. Think about this. If a friend promises to help you study for a big test, saying they'll be there no matter what, their words are full of promise. But then, when the time comes, they're always too busy. They cancel, or just don't show up. Their comforting words fade when their actions leave you feeling alone. In a way, our actions are like a steady, quiet echo of our true selves. Words can be easy to change, like clouds drifting across the sky, but actions, especially repeated ones, are like footprints pressed into wet sand. They leave a clearer, more lasting mark, showing the true path someone walks. So, when you see a difference between words and actions, it's not about quick judgment. It's about being observant. It's about learning to trust your own eyes and feelings as much as, or even more than, what you hear. This quiet observation helps you truly see people for who they are, not just who they say they are. And that's a deep, valuable kind of understanding, especially when choosing who to let close to your heart. Always wanting to know where you are. Have you ever felt like someone always needed to know your exact location? Like every step you took, every place you went, had to be reported? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? When a person in a relationship constantly asks where you are, what you're doing, and who you're with, it can feel like caring at first. Maybe they just miss you, but what if it never stops? What if it feels less like warm interest and more like constant checking? Here's the thing, everyone needs their own space, their own freedom to move and be themselves. Think about ancient thinkers, even back in old Greece. They believed that a person thrives when they have room to make choices, to explore their world. It's a bit like a plant. A plant needs good soil and water, but it also needs room for its roots to spread out freely. If you keep it in too small a pot, or try to force its roots in one direction, it won't grow strong. It will become weak, unable to reach its full potential. So, when someone always needs to know your exact whereabouts, it can feel like being kept in a pot that's too small. It makes you feel like you can't just naturally be. This constant checking isn't about healthy love, not really. It's about trying to control another person's world, to possess them. That kind of feeling takes away your ability to simply exist without question. True connection builds on trust, like an invisible bridge between two people. That bridge is strong when both sides feel safe and free. It allows for the beauty of independence, knowing that even when you're apart, there's respect and belief in each other. Love, real love, should feel like open skies, not a small, locked room. It means giving each other the space to breathe, to grow, and to return freely, because you truly want to, not because you have to. Making fun of your looks. Have you ever thought about how a reflection works? Not just in a mirror, but how someone's words can reflect on you. When someone you care about starts making fun of your looks, it's not just a joke. It's like they're holding up a distorted mirror. They're telling you there's something wrong with how you are. This kind of teasing, when it targets how you look, can chip away at your spirit. It's different from playful banter between friends. This is when the words dig deep, making you feel less, making you question yourself. It's a red flag because it shows a lack of respect for who you are, truly. Our physical appearance is just one part of us. It changes, it's unique, and it deserves to be treated with kindness, especially by those who claim to love us. Think about it like this. For centuries, wise people have talked about true beauty. The ancient Greeks, for example, believed in akatathia. It meant a person was beautiful inside and out. It wasn't just about perfect features. It was about having a good character, a kind heart, and a strong mind. So, when someone focuses on flaws, or makes jokes that hurt. They're missing the bigger picture of who you are. They're ignoring all the invisible parts that make you special. Here's the thing. Imagine you have a favorite drawing. Maybe you spent hours on it, and then someone points out a tiny smudge and only talks about that smudge over and over. How would that make you feel about your art? Your body and how you look are part of your story. When someone consistently makes fun of your hair, your clothes, your height, or anything else about your appearance, they are doing more than just teasing. They are trying to shrink your confidence. They are trying to make you feel small. It's important to remember this. True connection means feeling safe. It means feeling accepted exactly as you are. If someone makes you feel bad about your appearance, even with a smile, that feeling tells you something. It tells you their words are not building you up. They are tearing you down. You deserve someone who sees your whole self and celebrates it, not someone who tries to dim your light. Because your worth is not tied to someone else's opinion of how you look. It comes from within, not letting you speak your mind. Have you ever felt like a silent song inside you, waiting to be heard, but someone keeps pressing the mute button? This is about more than just being interrupted. It's about when another person makes you feel like your thoughts, your feelings, your very ideas aren't important enough to be spoken. It's when they talk over you, dismiss what you say, or act as if your perspective doesn't matter in a conversation. Think about how people have always valued speaking freely. Even in ancient times, like in old Greece, people gathered in public spaces just to talk, debate, and share different ways of thinking. They believed that when everyone could speak, new ideas could grow, and understanding could deepen. It was understood that each person's voice added something special to the big picture of community and knowledge. When one voice is silenced, the whole picture becomes less vibrant, less complete. Here's the thing. Your voice is like a unique color on an artist's palette. Imagine if a painter had many colors, but only ever used black and white. Their artwork would miss so much. It wouldn't show the bright yellows of joy, the calm blues of peace, or the fiery reds of passion. Your thoughts, your experiences, your deepest feelings, they are those colors. When someone doesn't let you speak your mind, it's like they're telling you to put some of your most beautiful colors back in the box, never to be seen. And that's why it matters so much. A real connection, a true bond, is built on the free exchange of these colors, these parts of ourselves. When you can't share your thoughts without fear of being shut down, a quiet kind of sadness settles in. You might start to believe that your voice doesn't have value, and that's a lonely place to be. But every voice holds a universe of thoughts, and every universe deserves to be explored and understood. To truly love is to want to hear every note of another's song, even the softest whispers. They talk down to you. Have you ever felt a sudden chill, a tiny shrinking feeling inside, after someone spoke to you? It's not about what they said, sometimes, but how. This feeling is often a whisper that someone is talking down to you. It means they speak as if they are smarter, more important, or more capable than you. They might use a tone that feels like they're explaining something super simple, like you wouldn't get it otherwise, or they might dismiss your ideas without really listening. For a long time, people have understood that words carry immense power. Ancient philosophers, who spent their lives thinking about how we should live, often talked about treating everyone with respect. They believed that every person, no matter their age or background, holds a unique and valuable spark within them. When someone talks down to you, it's like they're trying to blow out that spark. They act as if your thoughts, feelings, or experiences are less important than theirs. Think about it like this. Imagine you're learning to play a new song on an instrument. You're trying your best, practicing the notes. If someone stands over you and says, "That sounds terrible. You're doing it all wrong. It's so easy. Why can't you get it?" How does that feel? Does it make you want to keep playing, to try harder? Probably not. It makes you want to stop. It makes you doubt your own ability, even if you're making progress. But if they say, "Keep going. That note was almost perfect. You're learning fast," then you feel encouraged. You want to keep playing. Words have a way of shaping our inner world. They can build us up, or they can slowly chip away at our confidence, like tiny bits of stone falling off a cliff. When someone consistently talks down to you, they're not just speaking words, they're planting seeds of doubt. They're making you question your own worth, your own intelligence, your own voice. In a healthy relationship, people lift each other up. They listen. They respect the unique spark in the other person. They never make you feel small just so they can feel big. So, listen carefully, not just to what is said, but how it makes your spirit feel. Does it dim your light, or help it shine brighter? Comparing you to their ex, have you ever felt like you were standing in a shadow that wasn't your own? Like someone was looking right at you, but their mind was far away, seeing someone else. This is what happens when a person you care about keeps comparing you to their ex. It's a quiet whisper, a tiny crack in the glass, but it can make you feel small. Here's the thing. Everyone is unique. You are like a brand new song, with your own rhythm and your own lyrics. When someone compares you to an old song they loved, they're not really listening to your music. They're trying to fit you into a shape that isn't yours, hoping you'll be just like someone from their past. Think about it this way. For a long time, people believed the earth was the center of everything. Then, wise thinkers like Copernicus showed us that the sun was the center instead. It was a whole new way of seeing the universe. In a similar way, when someone is constantly looking back at a past relationship, they're keeping that old connection at the center. They're not letting you be the beautiful new center of their present. Imagine you're drawing a picture, pouring your heart into every line and color. Now, imagine someone looking at it and saying, "It's good, but my friend Sarah used to draw flowers just like this, only hers were brighter." It wouldn't feel very good, would it? Your unique art, your unique self, gets lost in their memory. So, when a past love keeps appearing in conversation, not as a closed chapter, but as a ruler to measure you by, pay attention. It's not about you being better or worse than anyone else. It's about someone not being fully present with you, not seeing you for the amazing person you are. You deserve to be seen for your own light, your own colors, and your own story. Every new beginning should be truly new, free from the ghosts of yesterday. Never admitting they're wrong. Have you ever noticed how hard it can be for some people to just say, "I was wrong"? It's a simple sentence, right? But for some, those words feel like scaling a mountain. This isn't just about small slips, like forgetting something. We're talking about bigger things, arguments that hurt, actions that have consequences, or ideas that prove incorrect. When someone consistently refuses to admit they've made a mistake, even when facts are clear, it's like they're building a wall around their own heart. Think about ancient thinkers. Socrates famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." What he meant was, truly smart people understand they don't have all the answers. They are open to being wrong, because that's how we learn and grow. It's an old idea that admitting a mistake is actually a sign of strength, not weakness. Imagine this. You're trying to solve a really tricky math problem. You work it out one way, but the answer just isn't right. Maybe a friend shows you where you went wrong. Perhaps a small calculation error. If you just insist your first answer is right, even when it's clearly not, you'll never get to the correct solution. You'll stay stuck, away from the right answer. It's like that in relationships too. If someone can't admit when they've made a mistake, the problem never gets fixed. It just sits there, like a puzzle piece that doesn't fit. But they keep insisting it does. Here's the thing. Everyone makes mistakes. It's part of being human, like the sun rising and setting. It's okay. But when someone can never admit their part in an error, it creates a cold space. It tells you they value being right more than they value understanding, or even you. And over time, that cold space can grow, like a quiet winter, making it hard for anything good to truly bloom. True connection, like a sturdy bridge, needs both sides to meet in the middle. Sometimes to say, "My bad." They get too serious too fast. Have you ever wondered why some of the most beautiful things in life take a long, long time to grow? Think about a tall oak tree, or a wise old river carving its path. They don't rush. And that brings us to a red flag when someone wants to get too serious, too fast, in a relationship. Here's the thing. Sometimes, someone might start talking about forever, or intense feelings only a few weeks after meeting you. They might want to spend all their time together, or say "I love you" way too soon. It feels like they're trying to speed up something that should naturally unfold. It's like trying to force a flower to bloom before its time. It might look pretty for a moment, but it won't last. Ancient thinkers, people who thought deeply about life long ago, understood this. They knew that real strength, real connection, is built slowly. It's like weaving a beautiful tapestry. Each thread is placed carefully, one at a time. If you try to weave it all at once, it becomes tangled and weak. Don't think about baking a cake. You can't just throw all the ingredients in, put it in the oven for 5 minutes, and expect it to be perfectly baked. It needs the right ingredients, yes, but also the right amount of time and gentle heat to truly come together. If you pull it out too soon, it's raw in the middle. Love is like that cake. It needs time to mix, to rise, to become something truly wonderful and solid. Rushing skips all those important steps. So, when someone rushes, they might not be seeing you for who you truly are. They might be in love with an idea, or just the feeling of being in a relationship. Real, deep feelings grow through shared moments, through laughter and quiet talks, through seeing each other on good days and not so good days. It's a gentle dance of discovery, and that slow dance, full of patience and quiet understanding, is where true connection begins to blossom. You feel like you're losing yourself. Have you ever looked in a mirror and felt like the person staring back wasn't quite you anymore? Not physically, but in a deeper way, like your true self was hiding. It's a strange, quiet feeling, like a color slowly fading from a vibrant painting. This can happen in relationships, especially if we're not careful to protect who we are. It's when your own thoughts, your unique passions, your favorite things, or even your quiet dreams start to feel less important than someone else's. You might find yourself agreeing all the time just to keep another person happy, or changing what you genuinely like so you fit in better with their world. For centuries, thinkers and wise people have wondered about this deep idea of self. Ancient philosophers, like those in Greece long ago, truly believed knowing yourself was the most important journey of all. Know thyself, they would say. It meant understanding your unique spirit, your personal strengths, and what truly makes your heart sing. They knew how easy it was to get swept up in what others wanted or expected, and how quickly you could lose touch with that inner knowing. It's a bit like a tree. A tree needs its own strong roots to stand tall, to gather its own water and sunlight from the earth. If it tries too hard to become a different kind of plant, like a tiny vine trying to be a massive, towering oak, it won't thrive or be truly healthy. It loses its own natural, beautiful self. Here's the thing. When you're in a relationship where you constantly dim your own light, or where your opinions and feelings are always pushed aside for someone else's, you might slowly lose precious parts of yourself. Imagine your favorite song. You love its melody, its meaningful words, its unique rhythm. But what if someone else keeps turning down the volume, or changing the tune, or even skipping parts, until it hardly sounds like your song anymore? Over time, you might even forget what that original, beautiful song sounded like. That's what losing yourself truly feels like in your heart. It's a gentle reminder that your unique self is incredibly precious. It's the only one you have, and it holds all your potential. Holding on to that true you isn't selfish. It's completely necessary for you to grow and truly shine. So, always remember to listen to that quiet, knowing voice inside you, the one that remembers who you are, even when the world around you is loud or confusing. Keep your own beautiful melody playing, ignoring your feelings entirely. Have you ever had a quiet little feeling, like a soft whisper inside you, trying to tell you something? Maybe it was a tiny flicker of unease, or a sense that something just wasn't right, even if you couldn't put your finger on why. This feeling, this intuition, it's often your truest self trying to get your attention. Here's the thing. Ignoring your feelings entirely means you're turning down the volume on that inner voice. It's like having a helpful messenger arrive, but you close the door before they can deliver their message. For a long time, thinkers and people in ancient cultures believed our feelings weren't just random. They saw them as guides, like signals, helping us navigate the world. They felt our gut feelings were important wisdom. Think of it this way. Imagine your body. If you accidentally touch something really hot, your hand pulls back, right? That sharp pain isn't fun, but it's super important. It tells you, danger, move. Your feelings work a lot like that pain. A feeling of discomfort about a situation or a person is like your inner alarm going off. It's not there to make you miserable. It's there to protect you. It's giving you information. If you ignore that feeling, that alarm, you might stay in a situation that isn't good, or miss a chance to help yourself. So, here's what happened. When you keep pushing those feelings down, over and over, they don't just disappear. They stay there, sometimes growing bigger, or changing into a quiet sadness, or a general feeling of being lost. And that's why it matters. Trusting your feelings, even the uncomfortable ones, is a way of trusting yourself. It's about listening, to the quiet wisdom inside you that knows more than your brain often realizes. It's about letting your inner compass guide you towards what truly feels right and good for you. They don't have interests beyond you. What if someone you cared about seemed to have no other world but yours? No favorite hobbies, no old friends they still hang out with, no quiet passions that light up their eyes when they talk about them. This can feel wonderful at first, like you are the sun, and they orbit only you. But over time, this feeling can change. It can become a red flag, a quiet signal that something isn't quite right. True, deep connection grows between two whole people, not two halves trying to make one. For a long, long time, wise thinkers have talked about how important it is for each of us to be our own person. They believed that a person's spirit needs room to grow, like a strong seed needing its own soil, to dig its roots deep. If all someone's energy, all their time, and all their happiness depend only on you, it's like a plant that can't stand on its own, without leaning completely on another. Think of it like this. Imagine a beautiful, thriving garden. In this garden, each plant grows tall on its own, its roots reaching deep into the soil. Each flower has its own unique color, its own scent, its own way of reaching for the sun. They stand strong by themselves, but they also grow together, making the whole garden rich and full. Now, picture a vine that only grows by wrapping itself entirely around one single, strong tree. It might look incredibly close, like they are one. But if that tree ever needed its own space, or if the vine tried to stand alone, it might not be able to. It would lose its shape, its strength. Our own lives are like that garden. We each need our own deep roots, our own unique light, our own separate interests that bring us joy and help us grow. When someone loses their interests beyond you, it can mean they've stopped nurturing their own garden. And a truly rich connection isn't about two people becoming one blurry shape. It's about two distinct, vibrant souls, each with their own unique world, choosing to walk side by side. It's a soft whisper reminding us that real love means celebrating each other's full, wonderful lives, both shared and individual. Always asking for favors. Think for a moment about balance, about giving, and about receiving. It's like breathing in and breathing out, a natural rhythm. But sometimes, in relationships, we notice a tilt. One person is always the one reaching out, always asking for help, for a favor. It's not just about borrowing a pencil or a few dollars once in a while. That's normal. This is bigger. It's about a pattern where their needs always seem to be the most important. Your time, your energy, even your kindness. It feels like they're just there to serve them. It's as if their cup is always empty, and they're always turning to your full one. Ancient thinkers, like the Greek philosophers, talked a lot about friendship. They believed true friendship, a real connection, was a two-way street. It was about reciprocity, a fancy word for giving and receiving. They imagined it like two hands reaching out, not just one hand always taking. If one person only ever took, never giving back, the balance would be broken. It wouldn't be healthy, and it wouldn't last. Here's an example. Imagine you have a favorite plant. You water it, make sure it gets sunlight, and maybe even turn it towards the window. You put effort into its life. But what if the plant only ever drank water and soaked up light, without ever growing or giving anything back? No new leaves, no flowers, no fresh air. It would feel like a constant drain, wouldn't it? You'd be doing all the work, with nothing returning. That's how it can feel when someone is always asking for favors. It's like a one-way street, where all the energy flows from you to them, and none flows back naturally. Our minds, they notice. These things they notice when the scales are always tipping to one side. And that's why it matters. A healthy connection, a true bond, needs balance. It needs respect for each other's time and energy, for what you can offer. When someone constantly asks for favors, it can quietly chip away at that respect. It can make you feel less like a valued friend and more like a tool or a resource. It's okay to help others. That's a good and kind thing to do. But remember that genuine care is a circle, not a line moving in just one direction. It's about sharing the load, sharing the joy, and sharing the support. And that's a truly beautiful thing to look for in any relationship. Being rude to service people. Have you ever watched someone, maybe in a restaurant or a store, speak unkindly to a person working there? It's a small thing, isn't it? Seemingly unimportant. But here's the thing. How a person treats those who serve them can be like a quiet whisper from their very core, a tiny window into their truest self. when someone is kind only to their friends or to people they want to impress, but then speaks harshly to a waiter, a cleaner, or a cashier. It shows a hidden part of them. It suggests they might see some people as less important, less deserving of simple respect. Ancient thinkers, people who thought deeply about how we should live, often said that real character isn't found in big, showy acts. Instead, it shines brightest in the small, everyday moments. It's about how you treat others when there's no reward for kindness, no one important watching. Think of it like a beautiful tree. When it's sunny and calm, every branch looks strong. But its deepest health, its true nature, is revealed by how its roots behave in the dark earth, how it stands firm when a storm comes. In the same way, a person's kindness when things are easy is one thing, but their real heart, their inner roots, are shown when they are feeling stressed, or when they believe they can get away with being less than gentle. If they yell at a coffee shop employee for a small mistake, it's often not about the coffee. It's about what's inside them. It's about how they handle power or frustration. This casual unkindness, this dismissiveness towards people just doing their jobs, can be a quiet alarm. It suggests a lack of understanding, a belief that some people are simply less worthy of a kind word. And in the gentle beginning of a new connection, we have to ask, if they can be so careless with a stranger's feelings, what happens when life gets hard? Will that same harshness, that quiet shadow, eventually turn towards you? It's a soft question, worth holding in your heart. They only call when they need something. Imagine your phone lights up. Who is it, and what do they want? If you pay attention, you might notice a pattern. Some people only reach out when they need a favor, a ride, or help with homework. It's like they have an invisible switch, only turning on when they have a request. They don't call just to say hello, or to ask how your day is going. Their messages always seem to be about a specific need they have. This is a quiet red flag, but a deep one. It subtly tells you that someone might be seeing you less as a whole person and more as a useful tool for their problems. Thinkers from long ago, like the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle, considered how friends truly connect. He believed there were different kinds of friendship. Some friends might be useful or just fun for a while, but the truest kind, he explained, is when people care about each other's entire well-being, not just what they can gain. It's a very old idea that human connection should be built on more than a quick deal. Here's an example. Imagine a vending machine. You put in money and you get your snack. It's useful, right? But the vending machine doesn't care about you. You don't talk to it unless you need something from it. Now, people aren't machines. They have unique feelings and a whole life outside of what they can do for others. When someone treats you like a vending machine, only reaching out when they need to get something, it can leave you feeling empty or lonely, even if you're helping them out. True relationships bloom from shared moments, not just from shared needs. They grow from the simple, genuine act of wanting to connect, just because you care. And that's why this matters. You deserve friends, or anyone in your life, who truly see and value you. All of you, simply for who you are, not just the part that can help them. Your worth isn't measured by what you can provide, but by the unique light you bring into the world, just by being yourself. Not taking care of themselves. Have you ever stopped to think about what it truly means when someone doesn't take care of themselves? It's not just about neat hair or clean clothes, though those are part of it. It's a deeper reflection of how they value their own body, mind, and spirit. When someone consistently neglects their basic needs, whether it's their health, their personal space, or their emotional well-being, it can be like a quiet whisper of trouble. Thinkers through history have often spoken about the importance of knowing and caring for oneself. It's like building a strong house. Before you can welcome guests or build an addition, your own walls need to be steady. Your own roof needs to be sound. If someone doesn't bother to keep their own house in order, it suggests a lack of foundation, a missing piece of self-love. And if they don't value themselves enough to maintain their own well-being, how can they truly value or support yours in a deep way? Imagine a garden you're trying to grow. You plant seeds, you water them, you make sure they get sunlight. But what if the person responsible for the garden never waters, never pulls weeds, never checks for pests? That garden won't thrive. It will slowly wither. In the same way, a person who ignores their own basic needs might struggle to pour energy and care into a shared relationship, because their own garden isn't getting what it needs to flourish. So, when you notice someone struggling to take care of themselves, it's not a judgment about their worth. Instead, it's a gentle call to pause and reflect. It makes you wonder, what does this tell you about their inner world? Can someone truly give love freely and fully if they aren't first whole within themselves? Perhaps this red flag simply asks us to see if the person has the capacity and the self-love to nourish not just themselves, but also the delicate bond you might hope to share. Always creating drama. Have you ever been in a calm space, maybe just chilling with friends, when suddenly one person arrives and the whole energy shifts? It's like a quiet pond suddenly has huge ripples spreading across it, not from a gentle breeze, but from a rock dropped right in the middle. Here's the thing, when someone is always creating drama, it means they seem to constantly pull chaos into their world and yours. It's not just a string of bad luck, it's a pattern, a way of being. They might not even realize they are doing it, but for them, life might feel a bit too quiet without that rush of big, intense feelings or a problem to solve. Don't think about stories from long ago, like those old myths and legends where heroes and villains alike often found themselves tangled in endless conflicts. Sometimes, people in these tales, through their actions or even just their emotional needs, would set off a chain reaction of dramatic events. It's almost as if they needed the spotlight, even if the stage was set for a struggle. In a way, some people can become the central character in their own ongoing dramatic play, always needing the big emotions to feel alive. Imagine your favorite song playing on a record player. It's smooth, right? But then, imagine a tiny scratch on the record that makes the needle jump and repeat the same harsh sound over and over again, always at the same spot. That's a bit like someone who always creates drama. A small disagreement with a teacher becomes a huge injustice. A minor misunderstanding with a parent turns into a major argument. Instead of letting small issues pass, they amplify them, making mountains out of molehills, always repeating that same pattern of conflict. This constant need for a high-intensity emotional state can be truly tiring for everyone around. It's like living in a storm when you long for sunshine. But here's what I found. There is a quiet strength in choosing peace. There is beauty in a steady, calm connection that doesn't need constant excitement or conflict to feel real. Learning to spot this pattern in others helps us to protect our own inner quiet and to choose relationships that feel like a gentle, flowing river rather than a wild, crashing wave. They don't understand no. Have you ever said no, but someone just kept pushing? When your clear word seems to vanish, it's a strange, unsettling feeling. This idea, they don't understand no, is a huge red flag in love. It's about boundaries, those invisible lines showing where you end and another person begins. Respecting your no means respecting you. For centuries, thinkers have explored what it means to be an individual. They called it autonomy, your right to guide your own life. When someone ignores your no, they're trying to erase that. They're saying their desires matter more than your right to decide. Everyone has this right to say no. Think of a plant. Each needs its own space, light, and water. Force a shade plant into sun, or give a cactus too much water, and it won't thrive. It has a natural no. People are similar. We have our own emotional limits. When someone ignores your no, they aren't respecting your boundaries or feelings. It's deep disrespect, ignoring your right to be yourself. So, if someone consistently pushes past your no, it's more than a small problem. It's a strong sign they might not truly see you as a whole person. It suggests a world where only their wants truly matter. And that's why this matters deeply. True connection and love bloom only where yes is truly heard and no is always gently honored, making you doubt yourself. Have you ever felt like your own memories were slipping, like someone was gently erasing parts of your story? Or perhaps you said something, and a person close to you insisted you never said it, making you wonder if you dreamed it up. This is a quiet kind of confusing, a slow whisper that makes you question what's real inside your own head. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? When someone tries to twist your feelings or experiences, making you feel overly sensitive or even a little bit crazy. They might say, you're overreacting, or that never happened, when you know in your heart it did. They want to shake your belief in your own mind, your own true sense of things. For a long, long time, people have known the power of making someone doubt themselves. It's like an old story where the trickster tries to make the hero forget who they are, so they lose their way. Here's how it works. Imagine you're standing in front of a mirror. You see your own reflection clearly, but then, Someone beside you starts insisting that your reflection is all wrong. They point out things that aren't there, or deny things that are. They keep doing it, calmly, patiently, until you start to squint, to second-guess what your own eyes are telling you. Your reflection hasn't changed, but your trust in what you see starts to waver. This is what happens when someone makes you doubt yourself. They mess with your inner mirror. Maybe you remember a conversation, a promise, or how a certain event truly felt to you, but they tell you it was completely different, or that your feelings about it are silly. The danger here isn't just about being wrong about one thing. It's about losing your sense of your own inner compass, your own true north, your feelings, your memories, your experiences. These are yours. They are the map you use to navigate the world. When someone tries to blur that map, to redraw your lines, it's a profound kind of loss. It's a quiet red flag, waving slowly in the wind, telling you that your own mind is being challenged. Trust what your gut tells you. Your inner voice is a precious thing, and it deserves to be heard and believed. Always remember that your truth is a light that only you can truly see. Their promises are empty words. Have you ever felt a sudden quiet disappointment when someone's beautiful words didn't match their actions? It's a strange, heavy feeling, isn't it? This red flag is about those moments when someone paints a picture with their promises, but then the colors just fade away. Their words become hollow, like an echo in an empty room, with no action to follow. For a long, long time, people believed that words held great power. In ancient days, a promise wasn't just a sound. It was like a binding agreement, part of a person's honor. Breaking a promise wasn't a small mistake. It was seen as breaking a piece of yourself. It was understood that true words built trust, like bricks in a strong bridge. But here's the thing. When those bricks crumble because no action supports them, the bridge falls apart. Think about a science experiment. You read instructions promising a clear result, maybe a chemical reaction or something new. You follow the words exactly, but nothing happens. The promise of the experiment, written on the page, doesn't come true. Why? Because the actual steps weren't followed. In the same way, someone can promise the world, but if their actions don't actually support that promise, it remains just an idea, a ghost of what could be. It takes courage to see through the glitter of empty words. It means watching not just what someone says, but what they do. It's a quiet lesson that teaches us where to place our trust. And that's why it matters. Protecting your heart means recognizing that true care isn't built on pretty sounds, but on solid, steady actions. It's about remembering that real love isn't just spoken, it's shown over and over. Acting suspicious all the time. What if the person you care about always seems to hide things, or act in ways that just don't add up? It's not always big, dramatic secrets. Sometimes it's the quiet, small things. It's the way their eyes shift when you ask a simple question, or how they quickly change the topic. It's almost like they're building a silent wall between you, brick by brick. Since the very beginning of human history, trust has been like the strong foundation of a sturdy house. Ancient thinkers, like the wise people of old Greece, talked a lot about living openly. They believed truth was essential for a community to thrive. When people are honest, it creates a deep feeling of peace and safety. But here's the thing. When there are too many shadows, too many unclear answers, it can make everything feel shaky. Like walking across a frozen lake that might crack. Imagine your brain like a curious detective. If someone is always acting suspicious, it's like they're keeping the lights off in a room you need to explore. You know things are in there, but you can't quite see them. Maybe it's just furniture, or something else. Your mind, naturally, starts to wonder, to imagine possibilities. Often, what it imagines isn't comforting. Psychologists talk about how our minds try to fill in missing pieces. When information is held back, your brain gets anxious, searching for answers, even if they aren't really there. A love that truly shines needs light and openness, like a clear sky after a long rain. When someone is constantly acting suspicious, it doesn't just make you question them, it can make you question your own judgment. It steals the simple joy of just being with someone, feeling safe without constant worry. The deepest, most peaceful kind of love lets you rest in certainty, not in a never-ending cycle of wondering. So, when you notice this pattern, know your heart deserves the truth, and a love that glows brightly, without any shadows. You feel anxious around them. Have you ever felt a quiet hum of worry deep in your stomach, just before you're about to see someone? This isn't the excited kind of jitters, like before a fun event. This is different. It's a tight knot, a feeling like you need to hold your breath or constantly watch what you say. Maybe you feel smaller, less like yourself, when they are near. This shadow of anxiety can be an important message from your own heart. For a long time, people have talked about finding inner peace. Ancient thinkers believed true wisdom was finding calm inside. They thought our relationship should add to that peace, not take it away. So, if being with someone fills your mind with worry, if it steals your quiet moments, that's a sign. It's like your own spirit is gently telling you something isn't quite right. Think about your favorite cozy spot. When you're there, you relax, breathe deeply, and just be yourself. You feel safe and comfortable. That's what a healthy connection should feel, like a place where you can truly settle. But if you're constantly fidgeting, like wearing a sweater that's too scratchy, or always checking the door, never truly settling, that's anxiety speaking. Your body and mind are telling you it's not a safe spot. It's okay to listen to. These feelings or emotions are like compasses. They don't lie. If a person consistently makes you feel tense or worried about being judged, that's not true love. Love, in its truest form, should feel like a gentle spring day, not a stormy sky. It should help you breathe easier, not hold your breath. It's about finding a calm harbor where your heart can truly rest. They try to isolate you. Have you ever thought about how much strength comes from having friends, family, or just people who care about you? Here's a red flag that whispers, sometimes loudly, about a deep issue. When someone tries to pull you away from those very people, this means they might make you feel guilty for spending time with others. Maybe they criticize your best friend, or make jokes about your family, trying to make you want to see them less. It's like they want to be your only source of comfort, your only opinion, your only connection, and that's why it matters. From the earliest times, humans have lived in groups. We are built to connect with many people. A community is like a giant, strong tree. Its roots spread wide, drawing strength from all directions. If someone tries to prune away your other branches, making you lean only on them, it makes you weak, like a tree with shallow roots. Imagine a spider web. Each delicate strand connects to many different points. This makes the whole web incredibly strong. If you start cutting those strands, one by one, the web becomes fragile. It can't catch anything, and the spider itself becomes very vulnerable. Your friendships and family ties are like those strands. They hold you up, protect you, and give you different perspectives. When someone tries to isolate you, they're trying to cut those strands. They want you to depend only on them, which can make you feel lost or powerless. But here's the truth. You need many strands to be strong. Your happiness and safety come from a wide circle of care. So, remember, your connections are precious. Protect them. They are a huge part of how strong you can be. Trust your feelings if someone tries to make you cut those ties. Getting mad if you hang out without them. Do you ever feel a little ripple of worry when a friend gets upset because you spend time with someone else? It's a tricky feeling, isn't it? When someone you care about gets angry or sad just because you hung out with other people. It's like they want all your time, all your attention, always. This feeling can be a quiet signal, like a small, unexpected shadow. For a long time, people have thought about what makes a healthy connection. Ancient thinkers, like those in Greece, talked about friendship as something that gives you freedom, not takes it away. They believed true friendship meant wishing good things for someone, even if those good things didn't involve you directly all the time. It's about trust. It's about knowing that even when you're apart, the bond is still there, strong and steady. They understood that everyone needs their own space, their own stories, their own sky. Here's what I found. Think about a plant. A healthy plant needs its own sunlight and water, even if it's growing in a garden with other plants. If you try to give one plant all the sunlight, you'd actually hurt the others, and even the one you're trying to help might get scorched. People are a bit like that. We need to grow in different directions, with different friends, to become our full selves. When someone gets mad if you do your own thing, it's like they're trying to block your sunlight. They might not mean to, but it stops your natural growth. So, if someone often seems upset when you're not with them, think about what that means for your own sky. A true connection lets you explore. It wants you to shine in all your different spaces. It understands that you can care deeply for someone, and still need time to yourself or with others. It's a gentle reminder that healthy love doesn't dim your light. It helps it glow brighter, even when you're on different paths for a little while. They don't respect your privacy. Have you ever thought about the quiet spaces inside you? Like a secret garden, maybe, just for your thoughts and feelings. That's what privacy is. It's your own personal room in the world. A space where you keep your diary, your secret dreams, your funny internet searches. It's the powerful right to have things that are just yours, not for anyone else to look at or know about unless you invite them in, on your own terms. For a long time, people have understood this deep human need. Think about it, even in very old stories, kings had private chambers. Wise thinkers spoke of the inner self, a private part of you. It's about knowing you have a safe place, an invisible boundary, where you can be completely yourself, without feeling constant eyes watching, or judgment. Your true self needs room to breathe. So, here's the thing. If someone you care about constantly tries to peek into your phone, or demands to know every single thing you do, or opens your mail without asking, even if it feels small, or they say they're just curious, that's a red flag. It's like they're walking right into your secret garden without knocking. Imagine a little plant. It needs its own pot of soil, its own space, its own light to grow strong. If another plant is always growing over it, stealing its sun and nutrients, that first plant can't truly blossom. And that's why it matters so much in a relationship. When someone doesn't respect your privacy, it slowly breaks trust. It makes you feel unsafe, like you can't truly relax or be your honest self around them. Because if your secret garden isn't safe, where else can you truly be free? True love, real connection, means respecting those quiet, private places in each other. It means trusting that you'll share what you want, when you're ready, and that your personal space is sacred. It's about feeling truly seen and loved, but also truly safe and respected. Only interested when things are good. Have you ever noticed how some plants only bloom in the brightest sunshine? What happens when the storm clouds gather? This idea, being only interested when things are good, is a bit like that. It means someone is there for the easy moments, the laughter, the fun, and the successes. But when life gets hard, when sadness arrives, or when problems pop up, they seem to disappear. It's like they're only willing to share the sunny days, not the rainy ones. Think back through time. Philosophers, even ancient ones, often talked about the true test of a friend. They believed real friendship wasn't just about sharing feasts and happy times. It was about standing together when things were difficult, too. It's a very old idea. Fair weather friends are not true friends. They're like shadows. They're only there when the sun shines, gone when it's dark. Imagine you're on a sports team. Everyone loves to celebrate after a big win, right? Everyone cheers and high fives. But what about when your team loses badly, or when someone makes a mistake? A true teammate doesn't just show up for the victory parade. They're there to offer a kind word after a loss, to help you practice harder, or to simply sit with you when you feel down. Someone only interested when things are good is like the teammate who only shows up for the winning games, but never for practice or when the team is struggling. They want the glory, but not the effort or the pain. So, what does this tell us? It tells us that true connection, whether in friendship or in love, needs more than just sunshine. It needs a willingness to be present through all seasons of life, both bright and gray. It's about building something that can weather storms, not just enjoy clear skies. It reminds us that real care means showing up fully, not just when it's easy or fun. It's a quiet whisper about what love really means, a steady light, even in the dimmest moments. They use guilt to get their way. Have you ever felt a heavy knot in your stomach? Not because you did something wrong, but because someone else made you feel like you did. That feeling, that quiet whisper of "it's your fault," can be a powerful thing. Some people learn to use it like a secret key. They don't ask directly for what they want. Instead, they try to make you feel bad, so bad that you just give in. It's a way of pushing you without physical touch, a control that wraps around your feelings. Think about this. For thousands of years, people have understood how guilt works. Even in ancient times, wise thinkers noticed that if you make someone feel like they're failing a duty or letting down their group, they're more likely to do what you want. It's not about what's truly right or fair. It's about managing how others feel, pulling at their sense of responsibility until they bend. This quiet pressure pushes you, making you believe the only way to ease discomfort is to say yes. Here's an example. Imagine your friend says, "I guess I'll just go to the game alone since you're too busy to hang out." You might not have been busy at all, but suddenly, you feel a pang. You think, oh no, maybe I should go. They didn't say, please come with me. They just painted a picture where you're the one leaving them out, making you feel guilty for a choice you hadn't fully made. It's like an invisible weight they place on your shoulders, and you start to carry it. But here's the thing, true love, real connection, doesn't need to use guilt. It stands on open hands and clear voices. If someone consistently tries to make you feel bad to get their way, they're trying to control your choices from the inside out. Remember, your heart knows its own truth. It's okay to listen to that quiet voice within you, the one that says, I am not responsible for their happiness, in a way that makes me abandon my own truth. This kind of love doesn't dim your light. It helps it shine brighter. Never helping you out. Have you ever had one of those days where everything feels heavy? Maybe you have a big project due, or you're moving things, or you just feel swamped. And then, the person you care about the most is right there, but they don't lift a finger. They just watch. This is a quiet, sometimes painful, red flag. Someone who consistently doesn't help you out. Here's the thing about this pattern. It's not just about doing chores. It's about a deeper idea of partnership. Think back to how people used to live. Long ago, in small villages or tribes, life was hard. To survive, everyone had to help each other. If someone was building a house, everyone pitched in. If someone was sick, the community took care of them. This wasn't just a kind gesture. It was how they kept going. The idea of helping each other, of sharing the load, is a really old and important part of what makes humans strong together. So when someone you're close to never offers help, even when they see you struggling, it's like they're not part of your village. Imagine you're building a complicated model airplane for a school fair. You're trying to hold a tiny piece, glue it, and read the instructions all at once. Your friend is beside you, scrolling on their phone, completely unfazed by your struggle. They don't even offer to hold one end. This might work for you sometimes, but if it happens every time, if your struggles are always only yours, it wears you down. A true connection feels like two people rowing a boat together. Sometimes one person pulls harder, sometimes the other, but the goal is always to move forward, together. If one person always keeps their oars out of the water, not helping, the journey becomes much harder for the other. It leaves you feeling like you're carrying all the weight, and that kind of imbalance can make a deep friendship or relationship feel very, very lonely. It makes you wonder how much they value your well-being. Their friends are just like them. Have you ever thought about how much our friends tell us about who we are? It's a curious thing. The people we spend most of our time with, the ones we choose to laugh with, share secrets with, and lean on, they often reflect us back. They are like a mirror, showing us parts of ourselves. And someone's friends can tell you a lot about them, especially if you're looking for a deeper connection. It's an idea that's been around for a very long time. Even ancient thinkers, like the Greek philosopher Aristotle, understood this. He believed true friends share a kind of inner spirit. They often see the world in similar ways. People naturally gravitate towards others who share their values, their kindness, or even their struggles. It's why the old saying, birds of a feather flock together, makes so much sense. We find comfort in those who are similar to us. Imagine a garden. If a plant is surrounded by strong, healthy plants, it will likely grow strong too. But if it's surrounded by weeds or struggling plants, it might not thrive. People are like that garden. If someone's friends are respectful, honest, and kind, it often means that person values those same things. That's a good sign. But if their friends are often unkind, dishonest, or make fun of others, it's like seeing weeds. It tells you something important about the environment and the person you might be stepping into. So, when you're getting to know someone, just observe their friendships, watch how they act, listen to how they talk to each other. It's not about judging quickly. It's about listening to the quiet story their friendships tell. This story can be a gentle hint about the kind of heart they have and the respect and love they truly believe in. It's a subtle clue to help you understand them, making you feel confused. Have you ever felt like you were trying to read a message that kept changing right in front of your eyes? One moment it says one thing, the next it says something else entirely. That feeling, that messy tangle in your mind, is confusion. In love, feeling confused is a big red flag. It's when someone's words don't match their actions, or when they act hot and cold, leaving you guessing where you stand. Think about it this way. Our minds naturally seek clarity. We want to understand the world around us. Ancient thinkers, long ago, spent their lives trying to find clear truths about life and the universe. They believed that understanding brought peace. When someone deliberately makes things unclear, it works against this natural need for understanding, creating unease instead. It's like trying to navigate a dark room when someone keeps moving the furniture. You're bound to trip. Here's the thing. Clear communication is like a sturdy bridge connecting to people. When you're confused, it's like parts of that bridge are missing, or it's wobbling dangerously. Imagine trying to solve a puzzle, but every time you pick up a piece, its shape changes slightly. You can't make it fit. Your brain gets tired, frustrated, and deeply uncertain. This isn't about little misunderstandings. It's about a pattern where you consistently feel unsure, always doubting what's real or what the other person means. So, when someone makes you feel like you're walking through a fog, never quite sure what's up or down, listen to that feeling. Your own mind is trying to tell you something important. It's saying that clarity, and the peace that comes with it, is a gift you deserve. And if someone can't offer you that, it might be a sign they aren't ready to build a clear, strong connection with you. Trust your inner compass when it points to confused. It's often pointing away from what's truly good for your heart. They don't value your opinion. Have you ever shared an idea, a thought, something important to you, and it just floated away? Like it hit a wall and bounced back, unheard. This is a quiet, steady kind of hurt. When someone you care about consistently brushes aside what you think or suggest, they might interrupt you or change the subject quickly. Sometimes they even make a joke about your ideas, making you feel silly for speaking up. It's not just about winning an argument. It's about feeling seen. It's about feeling like your unique mind matters. For thousands of years, people have known that listening is powerful. Thinkers from long ago believed wisdom came from truly hearing others. Not just waiting your turn, but really listening to understand. Every person holds a precious piece of the world's truth, a unique way of seeing things. When someone doesn't value your opinion, they're not just ignoring a thought, they're ignoring a part of you. Imagine a beautiful mosaic, a picture made of many tiny, colored tiles. Each tile is different. If one person always says that red tile isn't good and pushes your pieces away, the mosaic can never be complete. You start to feel like your ideas aren't good enough to be part of the whole. It makes the joy of creating together feel a little less sweet. Here's the thing. Your thoughts, your opinions, your unique way of seeing the world, they are incredibly valuable. They are gifts. When someone consistently refuses to open those gifts, it can shrink your spirit. You might start to believe that your voice doesn't matter, but your voice does matter, always. In healthy relationships, ideas flow freely, like a river finding its path. Everyone's voice adds to the song, and that's why it's so important to be with people who want to hear your song. Always making excuses. Have you ever noticed how some shadows seem to follow you, always there, but never quite solid? What about words, promises that feel like those shifting shadows? Here's the thing. When someone we care about always has a reason why they couldn't do something, or why something went wrong, it's like they're building a quiet wall of excuses. They might say, I was going to, but ... or it's not my fault because ... This isn't just about missing a homework deadline, or forgetting a chore. In love, it's about avoiding taking responsibility for their actions, or for their part in a problem. It's a way of not facing themselves, or facing you. Long ago, wise people like the ancient Greeks talked about owning your choices. They believed true strength came from being honest about what you do, good or bad. They saw it as living with truth, and that's why it matters. When we make excuses, we step away from that clear path. We avoid looking at our own part, and that can make trust hard to grow. Like trying to build on shifting sand. Think about a gardener who always blames the weather, the soil, or the seeds when their plants don't grow, instead of checking if they remembered to water them. Or a student who blames the teacher's hard tests, instead of admitting they didn't study enough. In relationships, it's similar. If someone constantly says, I hurt you because I was stressed, or I forgot because I was busy, without truly accepting what they did, it creates a pattern. This can help you see they're not really looking at their own actions, or how those actions affect you. This habit, always making excuses, slowly wears down the ground beneath trust. It's like a soft, steady drizzle that never quite stops, making the earth muddy and unsure. It makes you wonder if anything they say is truly certain, if they will truly show up for you. Love needs a clear sky, where promises are solid and actions speak louder than the soft, shifting whispers of an excuse. It needs people who stand tall in their choices, not hide behind reasons. When excuses are always present, it's a quiet sign that the foundation might not be as strong as you hope, and a gentle call to pay attention to that shifting ground. Your happiness doesn't matter to them. Have you ever felt like someone just doesn't see your feelings? Like your joy or your sadness simply doesn't register with them? This can be one of the most confusing and hurtful things in a relationship. Here's the thing. It's a red flag when your happiness doesn't seem to matter to the other person. They might make choices or say things that only benefit them, without really thinking about how those actions make you feel. It's like they're living in their own world, and your emotional well-being isn't even a part of it. For a long time, people have thought about this idea of caring for others. Ancient Greek thinkers, like Aristotle, talked about how we find true happiness in community, by considering others. And there's the old idea, sometimes called the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. When someone ignores your happiness, they're flipping this idea on its head. They're basically saying their feelings are the only ones that count. Imagine, you and a friend are playing a game. Maybe it's a board game you both like, but your friend always chooses the rules that only help them win, even if it makes the game totally unfair and no fun for you. And when you try to say something, they just shrugged, or maybe they even get annoyed. They're so focused on their own victory that your enjoyment, your experience of the game, doesn't even enter their mind. Or think about a plant. Some plants are really good at reaching for the sun, but they might not share their nutrients with other plants nearby, even if those plants are struggling. It's all about their own growth. It can feel really lonely when someone acts this way. You might wonder if you're asking for too much, or if your feelings are somehow wrong. But here's what I found. Your feelings are always valid, and you deserve to be with people who actually care about your inner world. Knowing this isn't about blaming anyone, it's about seeing clearly. It's a gentle whisper from your own heart, telling you what you truly need and deserve in love.